Yeah. It's the Machine Room podcast. Oh, shit. I hear myself in the background. Welcome. Kaiju is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, shit. What's up?
Kaiju, man. The one person who hypes up the show all week, and for maybe the last two shows, you haven't shown up. What's up with that?
What's up with that?
What is up with that? Hello, I am Nostradamus, and with me, of course, as always, is Hammer of Venus.
Hola.
I need like a soundboard kind of shit for the show.
We do.
You know, just
we need all of those things, like a sampler.
yes,
a
sound
sampler.
I need crowd applauses.
Air horn.
Yes,
Just
definitely.
all air horn for me.
Definitely.
Just 9 hours of air horn.
and then Christopher Walken quotes.
Yes. And then like an Al Pacino going, whoa.
Hola. And then, you know, I was like talking to her, and then she started grabbing me in my hoo-ah, you know, like that. That would be great. That'll fit in beautifully. We got Danny Adi. Danny Adi is here as well.
Yes, he didn't want to miss this one because I made him go see the Joker movie. I was like, go see it. It's so good.
On that topic is that this episode we will be touching on the Joker. We're gonna go really, really in depth. We're gonna give our own personal reviews, our own personal interpretations, and also talk about the whole topic of mental health, because this movie clearly is like about that, about someone dealing with mental health and society, and it's just a mesh of so much stuff that just came out of left field, and we are so happy and proud of the product. You know, like this is one of those, like it's gonna be a timeless classic. But before we jump into that, which is gonna be filled with spoilers, so if anybody who's listening on iTunes and Spotify and all that jazz, yes, know that when it gets to that point, you have the decision to either continue hearing us, or you can pause us there and jump back with us later. For those watching us live and is in the chat room right now, you have the choice to either be like, yo, and leave, or stick around and be spoiled, because that's what's gonna happen.
Or if you want to listen later, or if you can't finish tonight because you haven't seen the movie, you can always check us out later on YouTube or the audio podcast on Spotify, Google, and Apple.
That's right. We're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like a virus. I know a bitch that'll master your card. All right, so what were we talking about before? I just went off tangent on the Joker. I don't remember. Complete blank.
That's okay.
It is okay. But we're here. We're seeing some people. I'm telling you, if you're listening to us on any podcast outlet, you gotta join us in the live shows. This is where the party's at. But we're happy you're listening.
Yeah.
We're happy you still. What episode we're on now?
11.
Woo! 11.
And we do this on Twitch for you guys. I mean, this isn't for us. We easily could have just done an audio podcast, put it on Spreaker, and been done. But we're doing this for you so that you can join in on the conversation. You can ask us questions. You can be a part of the show. This isn't just Naz's and mine show. This is yours too. So join in, hit us up, talk, ask questions, whatever you want to do. Just don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Think that's what we were talking about, right? People being dicks.
Dicks. Yeah, we were talking about people being dicks.
People
on
being
Facebook
dicks.
Specifically.
Yes. Now, if for newbies that don't know, I created a freaking internet group called My Way Entertainment. What is it, like 13 years from now?
Oh, speaking of which, check out my hoodie.
Oh shit, she got a My Way Juggernauts hoodie. Look at that. Where's yours? You people got
at the store.
You people gotta jump on that. All right, is that
mine?
MW4life.com. hit up the shop right there.
This is official because I'm an official member.
So, created a group back then. We did videos, preferably got famous with the Juggernaut bitch, whatever. All that stuff created this community called the Cybergoons, and then eventually, when Facebook became big, there's a group page right there, and that's where we're at. So, it's free. Everybody can get on there and post whatever, blah, blah. But, look, we like to keep it at least under some kind of control. Now, there's some real deep, dark humor people out there, some real trolls out there, and we're just talking about how, some people really being dicks about it, and I like Hammer Venus here is one of our moderators, and she like keeps a good eye of what's going on in that group, but I also want her to bring that stuff to my attention too, because if anybody's being an asshole, then I'm happy and willing to go in there and give my 2 cents, because I feel like anybody would talk shit to anybody else and be like, ah, ha, ha, whatever, but if I talk shit back and they'll be like, oh shit, like I'm like the head
El Jefe.
El Jefe, like I go in there and be like, yo, y'all need to like cool it now. I'm gonna go in there and be like, just cool it now. Stop. I don't even know who's saying that.
I don't know either, but I just usually block people. Not block people, but I put them in a group purgatory where they have to get approval for post because they post stupid or dirty shit. So don't get put in jail.
The 1 month club.
The 1 month club.
That's what they're called. 1 month club members. What's up, y'all?
But I've yet to do it, but I figured if I have to put somebody in Facebook jail 3 times, then you're out. Ooh, forever.
There you go.
Forever, ever.
Forever, ever?
But I don't just do I do the Facebook, the Twitter, the website. I do all of our internet stuff.
Everything, even with Machine Moon Podcast, she does it, which I have to say,
merch.
Yes, and the merchandise, definitely. Which I have to say is such a weight off my shoulders, because I told her before, like, for years and years, it was just me. It's just me doing everything, editing and planning and just, everything. It was too much weight on my damn shoulders, so it's good to have a partner who finally can, do the weight and do it well, because I could never do what you do so well. Website is fucking beautiful. I would never. My website before, when I messed on it, was such like, man, it was
I think that's how I got the job, because I was like, you wanted me to do some like shirt designs, and I was like, well, why don't we make this like an official thing, because I really have some good ideas for your website, because it's ass. It's just total butt cheeks, and I want to make it better. And so I made one, like a demo one, and showed it to you, and you were like, yeah, I want that. I want all of that.
Yes. And we've been looking good ever since. And man, we can't wait to show you what's next. So.
Yes. New shit is coming. Yeah. Like winter. Winter is coming.
Oh man, I don't want winter to come though. It's already getting cold over here. Like it was cold. Or not cold, but like chilly. And then it was nice. And then it's like nice. And then chilly at night. Yeah. Now the news is just saying like, get ready, motherfuckers, because winter's coming. And I'm like, shit.
They're talking about an early winter, like winter weather. They're already giving out winter weather advisories, and it's barely October.
Like I got my window open right now to feel a cool breeze and not the fan, so that's why you don't hear no in the background.
I went and walked the dogs today, and it was like right on the verge of like, do I need a hoodie or not? It kind of feels good, but I'm also kind of cold. It was almost there. So then when the sun went down, I was like, I better just grab the hoodie because it's going to get cold.
That's why you got to be winter on the top, summer on the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, flip-flops all day.
In my flippy floppies.
My flippy floppies.
So yeah, that's
all day long. That's usually when I get mad at the weather, is when I can't wear flip-flops anymore. When I have to like wear shoes or worse yet boots, because then my feet really can't breathe. And I'm just like, fucking shit, goddamn motherfucking weather.
You're just out there just giving the middle finger to the
Just
world.
punching old ladies.
Punching old ladies like Captain Marvel. Bam.
You know me.
Hey, but you saw Spider-Man Far From Home.
I did, and I fucking loved it.
Yes, we could
I
talk
was
about that.
like, I've always liked Mysterio. Is that his
Mm-hmm.
name?
Yep.
He was always my favorite Spider-Man villain. And I heard he was going to be in this one, but the way that the previews made it, it was like a buddy movie. And I was like, well, that's weird. Maybe they're just introducing him. But I'm glad the previews did that because the way that he actually is in the movie is like he is in the comics and stuff, or
Yep.
even like the old cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I loved it because that was like very nostalgic to me. And I don't like nostalgia and all that shit, but it was very entertaining. He was like, he wasn't exactly like how he used to be, like, because he actually had powers and stuff. Like, this was more like a physical, like, more real world kind of representation, but they did such a good job of it.
Yeah, I agree. Ah, son of a bitch. I always do that fucking intro
You
thing.
played the intro.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Damn it. Sorry. But no, I agree. I think it was beautiful with Marvel, and Marvel is always keen on doing that. Like their trailers are misleading,
Hmm. Yeah, and I
always
love
misleading.
that. And that was what was so great too about Joker, which we'll talk
Yeah,
about later. But that's what was so great about the Joker. You just see this like wimpy guy, and then they show him later in face paint, and then it's like Joker, and it was just like a bunch of random scenes cut together, and it doesn't make any sense. But once you see the movie, you're like, oh, that's what that is.
yeah.
But the Spider-Man was so great because it's after the Avengers Endgame, and he's kind of PTSD. He just wants a break. He's just trying to
Be a kid.
go, yeah, be a kid and go on the senior field trip to Europe and go there and try to get NJ to be his girlfriend and be there with his best friend and just have a good time. And all of these people, like, what's his name? Samuel Jackson,
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury, and everybody's calling him up and they're like, we need you to fucking come in, do Spider-Man work. You're like the new Iron Man. He's like, I don't want that. It's too much. I miss the real Iron Man. And then Mysterio shows up and he's like, oh shit, now there's this guy and he's really awesome and I wanted to be friends with him and he listens to me and I'm going to give him this tech that Iron Man gave me and then all hell breaks loose.
And for comic book people, and especially people who grew up with the Spider-Man anime series, we know Mysterio. So
Yes.
we knew off the bat, like that trailer is like, okay, I see what you're doing, but I know there's something, I know there's
I
something gonna be there.
I kept waiting for it. I was like, at any minute he's going to be a dick.
Yeah,
And as soon as there's that scene, like again, spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen this, go ahead and pause or fast forward or whatever you need to do. But
fast forward to the Joker spoiler.
to the Joker spoilers. Um, as soon as they showed him in that bar and all of um the digital shit faded away and he just had like this big shitting grin, I was like, that's the real one.
Yep,
That's him right there being a
that's
dick.
that's the moment that the party really started, and then
Yes.
my girl, she doesn't know the whole like origin of Mysterio and all that stuff.
Right.
So that revelation to her was like, and I was like, oh, you didn't know. Well, now you know. And man, when it's that confrontation between Mysterio and Spider-Man that first time, and all the illusions and all the shit he's making them go through,
Hmm.
I was like, I just felt like I was watching a live action episode of the Spider-Man animated series.
Exactly.
It,
Especially when he was showing him all of the stuff and making him feel like he's in a room or a place that wasn't there and he's throwing shit at him and none of it I was like, that's mysterious shit. Like especially if you played like Spider-Man 2 the game.
mm-hmm,
I mean, it was like that was all of the game was Mysterio doing all this fucked up shit to Spider-Man.
mm-hmm. It was beautiful. It was so done. We agreed that is the best Spider-Man out there. Like, it's on my
So
list.
far.
Like, Spider-Man 2 to me is still like top tier. I love that movie. And then put Far From Home in there. Spider-Verse as well. So Spider-Verse is a fucking masterpiece as well. But yeah, Far From Home really did it. Homecoming was cool, but Far From Home is really like,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. And the way that movie ended, I'm so happy that shit got solved, because Spider-Man 3 in the MCU needs to happen.
Yes.
How that movie happened, I need to see what happens next.
But it's not just that. They have this whole Spider-Verse list of movies that they're doing next. Like, besides just Venom 2 and all that, like they're doing the villains and all this stuff, and like Spider-Gwen and all, so they're really trying to branch out and do all this stuff. And it was stuff that they had planned before when they had Andrew Garfield. But after all of that blew up in their face, after they fired him, they just really had to start over.
What's gonna be really crazy, and it's gonna like confuse people who are not,
Madam Web, yeah.
yeah, who are not like, it's gonna confuse people who are not really know what's going on or the connection and stuff like that. Noobs. It's gonna
Spider-Man fans.
Yeah, it's gonna confuse noobs when
Yeah.
they share Spider-Man, because that's one of the new agreements. Like, it's gonna be in the MCU, but then he's also gonna be in the Sony Spider-Man universe, whatever shit going on over there. So, like, I read that Kevin Feige said this is the first time you're gonna see Spider-Man in two different universes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna fucking confuse. Like, this Joker movie is gonna confuse people later down the road when there's an actual Joker and Batman and whatnot, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, but what happened to?" So,
Because it's not Black Label. The new Joker movie is DC Black Label, which is a separate universe. They're going to be separate movies, so they're talking about doing even other Batman villain movies, like like a dark Riddler movie or something like that, like stuff minus Batman. So like really eye-opening, storytelling of the villains instead of always being about Batman, which was the best part about Gotham, I thought. They did a lot of storytelling of the villains.
Kaiju says that they ended the DCEU after Aquaman, which I don't think that's true, because Shazam still connected all that.
So it's the new Wonder Woman too.
Yeah, so I don't think they ended it. They're just doing something different and trying to like work on it now. They can still share a universe, but they just need to make. You know what? I still believe that the best way for Warner Brothers to create a universe and restart it is Flashpoint. It's the best fucking way. That they still saying that the Flashpoint movie is gonna happen. It's the best way. It's the only way. Reboot.
That was part of the original intention with Zack Snyder. He was going to do a Flashpoint regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So they were going to do, like they did Justice League and all that, and then they were going to come in and do Flashpoint and then change things up for the next phase. So that was really going to reintroduce people or new people, and so they're still doing that. They're just not going to be able to do it like the original plan. So they're having to especially after Cavell and Affleck dropped out.
Yeah.
So now they're having to recast and redo shit, and like the Batman movie had to completely be rewritten, and so it's just a mess. And I really blame all the people that just shit on these movies that don't get them, because they weren't like true comic book fans. They're like, oh, this isn't like the Christopher Reeves Superman, or this isn't like the Tim Burton Batman. It's like they're not supposed to be. That they're based off the actual, source material.
They were really. They were in a time when Marvel movies was like the kind of way of comic book movies, and people were just like, this is not like Marvel, it's too dark, it's too edgy, and they didn't get it, and for and even people who claim they're DC fans were still shitting on them. But it was like, if you really were DC fans, I don't think you would have been shitting on them. It was just a bad time, and too rushed into it. Especially Justice League really got affected by trying to like change it up and trying to mold it to something that'll be more crowd pleasing. But let's face it, like there's people who don't get, like, they like Joker, but they didn't like Joker. Like I know some coworkers who was like, "Oh, I didn't like it. It was too much talking, not enough action." It's like, well, then you don't fucking get it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I've said on here before, a lot of that is to blame on Warner Brothers. And I think if DC's ever going to be able to do the storytelling that they want to do, they need to find a way to do that without Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to do something like what Marvel did, have their own company. I mean, they are their own company, but at the end of the day, they're still owned by Warner Brothers in every way. So if there was some kind of way that they could be just like a subsidiary, or even just get their independence, then they can do the type of movies and storytelling and everything that everybody wants and everyone knows they can. But all the problems that people have, or that they shit on the movies, all the problems that they bring up are stuff that was because of Warner Brothers, or just the fact that they were so different from the MCU. It's like, yeah, they're different. It's a different universe, they're different characters, and they're trying to tell different stories.
Yeah, me me and you agree that Batman vs Superman is fucking beautiful.
Yes.
Especially the extended cut. It's like, it's a good movie that everything fucking makes sense, but everybody shits on. And it was really dark. And I hope, okay, Affleck is out of the picture, but I hope Henry Cavill will come back
I do too.
somehow. Like, he was a great Superman. All right.
Even
And
if like it's like half of Flashpoint. If he could just come back, do like half of it, and then they do Flashpoint, and then it's like a different Superman. Like that would make sense.
yeah.
Something like that. But I also want to throw this out there. As much people shit on Suicide Squad, it won a Grammy, so, or not a Grammy, an
An
Oscar.
Oscar.
So here you go.
And 2 is coming. You know what? 2 is going to be great. I got a
Yes.
sense that 2, especially the James Gunn helm in it, and he knows how to do
Yes.
he knows how to do that kind of movie. So I'm really excited. Birds of Prey, I saw the trailer and I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's see where this goes. Because now I'm excited after Aquaman. Aquaman was fucking
Yes.
fantastic. Shazam was fucking fantastic.
Both.
Wonder Woman 1982, right? Is it 82? 85?
84.
84.
86.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I think it's
Well,
86. Something.
one of the 80s 19 Wonder Woman, I'm like hoping is fucking great. And I'm just like, I have this.
84.
There you go, my year. Okay, so Wonder Woman, the birth of Xavier. I hope that's gonna be great. And we just saw Joker, that pretty much plays as a one-shot comic book. Like, they're trying things,
Like a
and
good graphic novel.
yeah, they're trying things and it's working out, and they're not trying to, I guess, connect right now, but there must be some kind of plan. And I understand, like, if Joker isn't connected to anything later on, it's beautiful how it is, but the Batman is something, and any Superman that they do later on, like, you have to connect these universes, because it's something that we want. It's something that must be, and it's just the new norm, and that just goes for the fuck anything. Like, there's movies now getting created that are making universes. Like, I didn't know Insidious was a whole fucking horror universe or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
shit. I had no idea. Everybody's jumping on that, but when it comes to comic books, it just makes sense to share universes. You don't have to share so fucking hardcore like Marvel does, but at least, Shazam clearly like showed, like, okay, Aquaman and little Batman and Superman, but it'd be great, like, crossover sometimes, just like the CW shows. Oh my god, I can't wait for
Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's gonna be fucking amazing.
I need to catch up on all that shit.
Oh man.
I missed Batwoman. I really wanted to watch it, so I'm gonna have to try to find a way to watch because I don't have a DVR anymore. So I always have to like
You just
find it online or something like that.
yeah, you just go on the CW and watch it there.
Yeah, so
It's free. You just gotta
it's
deal
really,
with some ads. That's it.
yeah, of course. But I really like Ruby Rose as Batwoman. I thought that was a great idea, so I really want to see how that turns out.
It wasn't bad. It was pretty good, and of course, I'm gonna keep watching. So
Of
it's all
course.
good. She didn't get the suit right away on the first episode, but I'm helping the second episode. Bam, the red
Yeah,
hair.
exactly.
Red hair don't care.
I
Kicking
love that
ass.
hair.
So we just went on a DC tangent.
We always do that.
Because we get defensive when people start talking shit about the DC movies.
Well, I grew up with DC. DC was like the first comics I ever got into, like old. My sister's dad gave me like old 70s and 80s like Justice League and stuff. So
Oh,
that's how I really got introduced. And then like the Batman animated series, and that really got me into
yep.
all of that. So DC has a huge place in my heart. So I always loved them. Do I think that everything they did is perfect? No. But I still love them and I love their movies,
Yep.
except for Batman and Robin.
What a fucktastic movie.
Fucktastic. That's a great word.
That movie is like that's one of those like you watch just to joke kind of movies.
I remember that movie came out. I used to wait, like if you missed it in the theater, you used to get it on pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't go see it in the theater and it came on pay-per-view. So I had to ask my mom, of course, can I get this movie on pay-per-view? He was like, yeah. So I get all ready. I made a dinner. I put in the tape in the VCR to record it. I was all excited. I got halfway through the movie. I stopped recording on the VCR and then just kind of stopped watching the movie. I was like, this is awful. This is so fucking bad.
Yeah, I went to theaters to see that, and I remember people when it was done, they were like, some dude was like, "Hey man, can I get my money back?" Because
It's so bad.
and
Like,
I was a kid, like, what the fuck was that?
a lot of people didn't like Batman Forever. I love that movie.
That's one of my
Uh,
favorites.
Mine too. And that one I saw in the theater. People loved that. And I just don't know how they went from Forever to Batman and Robin. It's like they were trying to be too much like the old Adam West
Yeah,
TV show. Oh my God. It was so bad.
it was a descent that you saw, like fucking dark and emo Batman to even darker Batman,
Mhm.
and then it got to cheesy, but still kind of like because there was
Dark and serious.
yeah because there was like hints of a freaking darker tone to that movie. There was
Yeah.
like a darker edit that someone like made and put out there, and now it's like if you could find it. And then it just got fucking cheesy, campy like crazy. Arnold Schwarzenegger saying freeze puns every
Oh
fucking
my
five
God.
seconds.
And the ice skates on the boots that killed me. I was like, I'm so done with this movie.
And wobbly head George Clooney.
I love I saw the interview on I think it was that Superman Lives or whatever documentary.
I need to see that.
And they were asking Val Kilmer why he wasn't in Batman Forever. And he goes, I didn't even know they were making it until I saw a preview for it. He goes, they just didn't ask for me back.
That's 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 messed up.
He
I'll be
said he was
pissed off.
watching TV one day and then he saw the movie preview for Batman and Robin. He goes, oh, I guess I'm not in this one.
Kaiju's right. That is major disrespect. That's disrespect to the core, man. That's messed up. But I mean, at least he got saved because it was a fiasco that
It was awful.
yeah, he shouldn't have been a part of it anyways. So
But he
screw it.
was a great Batman too.
He was. Val Kilmer owned that shit.
He did.
He did with his turtlenecks.
All the turtlenecks.
Bruce Wayne wore nothing but turtlenecks.
That's what you do when you got that big ass Batman neck. You gotta hide it.
All the bruises.
You got all the bruises and scars and broken bones, and Batman wounds. Depending on what universe, he was fighting xenomorphs and predators. So
It's true. Batman's been through a lot. Let's face it.
he
Oh,
teamed up with the Max.
he did. He did. And I was trying to read that comic like a little bit, and I was just like, I'm confused. Because I know the Max, but I don't know him that well, so I was just confused. I was like, what's going on here?
You need to borrow my my Max set then. I have all of them.
Damn. Where's your Max t-shirt at?
I don't know.
You need a Max t-shirt.
I do. I kind of got out of the graphic tee world. I mean, that's funny because I make so many, but I don't wear them. I have like my Gamera, my Boba Fett, and then this.
That's all you need.
That's about it. Everything else is grown-up adult stuff.
Speaking of DCs, I was in the comic shop this weekend finally, like after 2 weeks, to pick up my reserve comics, and I guess this old man was stacking up on some comic books, but I guess he didn't get any from the DC universe. So the guy behind the counter is like, "Oh, what?" He said, "Okay, so let's see what your damage is, and your total is like 50 something, whatever." And I was like, "Damn, 50 something. That's a lot of comics." But then he asked him, like, what, you don't, no love for the DC universe? Nothing, no Batman, no Superman? And then the old man was like, oh, no, I don't like the movies. I don't like the movies, whatever. And I don't like Superman, blah, blah. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He got up, was like, you got to read this one over here. And he goes and he tries to sell him, like, a Superman graphic novel. It's like, if you read this one, you know, this is not like your old school Superman, not your Christopher Reeves kind of Superman, whatever. This is a real good stuff, a real good story. If you read this and if you don't like this, then you have a cold heart. And it's like, well, then I guess I gotta have a cold heart because I just don't wanna blah blah. And then I'm there. And when I told this story to OP, he said like you should have had like the Superman T-shirt on or something, because I'm just there like this guy. You need to go. You're a fucking dick. Like you're disrespecting my man's. How do you do that? There's some people out there who are just like, they're like, especially like really dick to Superman. Like, oh yeah, Batman. I love Batman, Batman, Batman. But then when it comes to Superman, it's like, fuck that guy. And I was like, damn. There's no love for the soups.
I think a lot of people got mad once they started doing weird shit, like all the different 40 types of kryptonite and the one where he became a literal god. And he just kept getting so overpowered, where that was always the biggest argument that I always heard people that didn't like Superman.
But
Like, I understand that, but, you know, those are different storylines.
But what is funny as hell is that the same fucking concept falls for Goku in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it does.
Yet everybody loves Goku.
Mm-hmm.
But
who's a terrible father.
Very terrible father, yes.
He had to basically abandon his son to be adopted by an alien.
Yes, and raised them. But yet the son still loves daddy, and he's still praising the shit out of his son. But
Fucking
you wasn't
bitch,
there. But
shit dad.
He is the same concept of Superman, same story, origin, and his powers just keep going and going and going. Just like Superman's power just has no limit. Both of these characters have no limit, but yet Goku is like, you know, the fucking crowd favorite. It doesn't make no sense. It's like you guys are like, that's the same fucking shit, you know?
It's the same story, but everybody's always dick riding Goku and Dragon Ball, but not Superman. It's like it's the same fucking thing. Like even the people that created it were like, yeah, it's just Superman.
It is, and then
it's the same shit.
It was set in stone when you watch the recent Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, where they literally did the whole Superman origin, like to the T. Put Goku in a pod, both the parents there.
Mm-hmm.
We're sending you off to this planet, and you know, hope that you get to do great things. Our planet is gonna be destroyed by Frieza. And I was like, dude, this was all just fucking Superman, and it's just hilarious, and it's accepted. but yet he's OP and it's okay, but Superman's OP and it's like, oh no, he's too perfect, you can't beat him, and blah blah blah. And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
I bet Superman wouldn't abandon his kids.
No, Superman raised his son. No, Superman not only raised his son, Superman, when the whole New 52 happened, Superman left that world alone. It was like, well, y'all got a Superman there, so I'm just gonna live my life with my beautiful wife and raise my kid. He raised his own kid, and then when that Superman died and the world needed Superman, he was like, oh, fuck it, I guess. I'll be back. Ah, you guys didn't know I knew some DC shit, huh?
Yes.
I dabble sometimes.
It's good to dabble. And also DC was first, the second.
So there you go. Did I lose Kaiju and Danny ID with all this geek talk?
That's what we're here for.
It's true. Machine Room has no like really like label or genre. It's just
direction.
It's just conversation. It's just all around conversation.
That's true. Oh, I have a magic trick.
Yeah, I hope you're not gonna put a pencil in someone's eye.
I'll do that later. This is something that I learned that I could do. Okay, ready?
All right.
I'm gonna do a Trump face. Ready?
Okay, go. If you guys could see this. If you guys could have seen that.
That's my magic trick.
It was on point. There you go. That's who you're going to be following.
Have a bunch of strippers' pits in my hair, make it all yellow. Some orange spray tan.
Speaking. Okay, so if you're listening to this on like any podcast fucking venue, then you got to take your asses to the damn YouTube and see Hammer Venus do the typical Trump face. It was beautiful. No, speaking of like strippers, and I saw this. It was actually on fucking TMZ because there's nothing else to watch at work. So this I guess university or something paid Snoop to perform during the halftime show, and it's like a family fucking game. There's families there, and Snoop goes ahead and he has like 4 stripper poles and girls dancing on it and how to go around and him just getting down and shit, and they like apparently they were pissed off and got a lot of complaints, and Snoop Dogg's like, the fuck I'm Snoop Dogg, what the hell you pay for it? Like, he's like, I don't see anybody complaining, I saw everybody having a good ass time, they were fucking partying. But I mean, he ain't wrong. You pay for Snoop Dogg, you're gonna get.
That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucking bitches on stripper poles and getting down and greasy, and he probably, you lucky he didn't fucking smoke marijuana in front of y'all faces.
I would have.
Yeah. What up, you little motherfuckers? Get down now. Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
It's a good Snoop Dogg impression.
What up, you 8th graders? Listen to your parents and smoke some weed, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I be saying fuck school when I was 12 years old, and it's like, what the hell just happened here?
Just like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Snoop Dogg. Round of applause.
It's smacking my mic.
Hell yeah.
Iggy.
I found that hilarious.
It was good. You should do that for a career. Just do Snoop Dogg. Not just impersonation, but you should do like voice dubs for Snoop Dogg.
Shit, right? They call me, what's up, y'all? Yeah.
This is what we want Snoop to say. We want him to do eyeglass commercials.
Give me the lines. I'll do my best right now.
There you go.
When you eyes watery, can't see shit. Well, guess what? Get this fucking Everclear. Put it on your eyes. Drip, drip all day.
I agree.
Wasn't he called Snoop Lion at one point? My name
For a
is Snoop
minute,
Dogg.
he tried to be like Jamaican, like trying to do reggae for an album, and then that lasted for like maybe a year, and everybody was like, "Yeah, shut up, you're Snoop Dogg."
Yeah, you're Snoop Dogg. Apparently he knows martial arts too, or he dabbled in the martial arts.
But he's not as good as Wesley Snipes.
And I think no one, well, I want to say no one as good as Wesley Snipes, but let's not forget Michael Jai White is a fucking beast as
Oh
well.
my God, yes.
Oh.
Who would win in a fight, Michael J. White or Wesley Snipes?
Ooh, this is a good one. This is
like MMA style in the octagon.
In no the prime, of course, right?
And yeah, in the prime. Like 15, 20 years ago. Head to head. MMA rules. Who's going to win?
Damn. This is a hard one. I think it would be easier if we could pick like a character of each person.
Like their real abilities. Like,
shit. Well, it definitely had to be in the prime because it's hard to get Wesley Snipes while he's evading taxes right now.
He's really good at cardio from running from the IRS.
Damn. You know, for me to make that decision, I really have to see like, cause Wesley Snipes, I think both of them are really like multiple belts. You know?
Yeah.
Shit. That's a hard one. But I want to see it happen now. I have never thought of this in my whole life, and now I want to see it happen.
Okay, so according to the interwebs, Wesley Snipes is a 5th degree black belt in Shotokan Karate and a 2nd degree black belt in Hapkido. So now let's look at...
But not hip-hop keto.
No.
Damn. That's like Spawn versus Blade.
He's a martial artist with black belts in 8 different styles. Holy shit.
Michael Jai?
Yeah. So my money's on him.
Shit. Yeah. Perhaps. Man, it's a hard one. You know
and
what?
He can do a great Mike Tyson impression.
You know what? From what I know, Michael Jai White still trains.
Yep.
I don't know if Wesley Snipes does, but we're talking about the prime. But fuck it, man. You pick Jai, I'll pick Snipes, just to make it like, you know, one of those things.
But why though?
Oh man, because I think I just like Demolition Man and Blade.
Is it a height thing? Is it a weight thing? Is it styles? Is it... I mean, like, if you were commentating the fight, like, what would you expect to see? I mean, I think Jai is going to be faster because I think he's a little bit shorter. So I think he's going to be able to get in and out better. But Snipes is going to have a long reach. You've seen his kicks in movies and stuff. He could kick the shit out, but you got to be in his way. But it's also one of those things that you could get out of the way of if you're fast enough, and Jay's fast enough.
He is. Damn. And he knows 6?
8.
8. And Snipes is like, what, just 2?
2, but he's a 5th degree black belt in one of them, and a 2nd degree black belt in another.
That's true. And
so he knows those 2 very well.
I found that out. It was around the time that Blade came out because there was a special on like TNT or TBS or something where it was like this martial arts special, and they were just like nominating these grandmasters and showing all this stuff and showcasing, and also showing like clips of Blade, and it was all hosted by by Wesley Snipes, and that's when he came out and he said, that they said that he's a whatever third degree, fifth degree, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's no joke. Like he's the real thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that about Wesley Snipes. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go left field. I'm gonna say Forrest Whitaker, Ghost Dog, fucks them both up.
That's the right answer.
It's funny because I didn't know that guy was a martial artist, and I wanted to see more Forrest Whitaker fucking
Forrest
people.
Whitaker, I did too. I was hoping for more Ghost Dog, and I love that fucking movie. Love it.
It's just the concept. Like now when I see him, I'm just thinking about him just fucking people up, and I want to see it happen.
That's how I got like that.
Is that for real?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, damn.
He was born that way. It's just a regular birth defect, lazy eye.
Who fucked him up?
It was Debo. Debo. Forrest Whitaker, bad eye fight. Who's gonna win?
Who gets their eye fixed?
Get the eye fixed. Yeah, even Danny in chat says Jay is more fluid. So I think Jay's gonna be more. He's gonna be faster. He knows more styles, especially in an MMA environment. He's really gonna shine. And if you put them in something where they're restricted, like Muay Thai or boxing only, I think you're gonna have a better chance with Snipes because I think at his weight class, he'd be a hard hitter.
All right, you guys want me over then. Michael Jai White beat the shit out of Wesley Snipes.
There you go. Every day.
It'll be like they'll be toe to toe.
Yeah.
But the finish is gonna be Michael Jai White. WrestleMania next year. Michael Jai White.
He'd probably do some crazy shit like jump off the fence and do like a flying knee and just knock out fucking Wesley Snipes. And then when he hits him, all these coins blow up like fucking Scott Pilgrim, and that's how he pays his taxes.
You see, now I want to take my answer back because you just brought up Scott Pilgrim, and it's like that guy took on 7 evil exes.
7.
Come on, even Gideon was like a stretch, man. He beat her. Well, then again, he had the help from Knives to beat Gideon Graves.
Yeah, and he had a 1 life.
Yeah, he did have a 1-up. That's true. That movie is a fucking masterpiece.
I love it. Movie's so hard. So watching this guy on Twitch. I told you about the guy that fixes stuff. I don't know why it's like addicting to watch because I'm like, yeah, okay, use those Q-tips.
Yeah, you kept hitting me up like, yo, this guy got like thousands of views and he's just fixing shit. I'm like, damn, man.
But somebody in chat, we were talking about Joker. And I was like, yeah, I want to see it again. He was like, oh, I'll see it again. I was like, I'll see it so fucking hard. He's like, I'm going to see it right fucking now. I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to see it hard as fuck.
Damn. I think you guys talking about something different.
Yeah. But it was funny. The reaction to that movie have been really great.
It has.
Like I was reading the reviews on Google Movies yesterday, and I only saw one bad review, and it wasn't even about the movie. They were like, there's been mass shootings, and you're being insensitive, and I reported it for being spam.
For being stupid.
All the others were 5 stars.
You know what I didn't get with the whole Joker thing before it even came out? The whole like, oh, we gotta be cautious and have police around, blah blah. It's like this movie is not gonna cost nothing. It's just a fucking movie. They were afraid that shit was gonna be like there's gonna be fucking people rioting and killing and introducing violence and glorifying violence. It's like, dude, I watched John Wick 3. I didn't go out and fucking like fuck up everybody around me with a pencil and shit, like
run around like that.
Yeah, the movies are movies, man. The only thing that triggers people to do things is themselves.
Yep. It's nothing to do with movies or TV shows or especially video games. Like, I play video games all the time and I've never killed anybody. So I mean, people are so fucking stupid with that shit. Like, the only thing that I read that happened when that movie premiered last week was somebody was walking around in the front row, like looking into the crowd, and they had a backpack on. And everybody in the theater got up and ran because they thought he was going to do something, and they called 911. 911 comes and busts this guy, and I guess he was just looking for somebody, like in the movie. And they just thought, like, oh, because it's Joker, this guy's just going to come in and just fucking shoot up the plate. And he was like, what the fuck?
They mentioned that one time when it was Batman and someone came in shooting, and that was Batman. Like, nothing about that would even warn you that, oh, I might get shot up in this thing. It's just people are being fucking crazy and stupid. And
but that one was personal in a way, because that one's really scary, because my sister lives in Denver, one of my sisters, and she goes to that movie theater, and she was supposed to go that night, and they ended up going to another theater that was closer to her house.
Good.
And I'm glad that she did.
Good.
But I saw that movie that night it premiered, so I got out of the movie, 2 or 3 in the morning, and then there was the reports of the shooting. I was like, dude, that easily could have been us.
Shit. I saw someone dress, not me personally, but I saw that on the internet, someone did dress up like the Joker and went to go see the Joker and made people over here comfortable. That's just funny to me.
It is funny. It's cosplay.
That's hilarious. And apparently someone else was like, somewhere else people were just smoking a lot during the movie. And that just made sense because there's just so much smoking in the fucking movie.
I used to smoke, and that movie made me want to smoke so fucking hard. I was like air smoking in the theater.
See, so it's not violence that movie is promoting.
No, I wanted a cigarette. Bad.
They should have just have all theaters that are showing Joker with a whole bunch of like truth.com fucking people outside of it telling you like, hey,
wearing orange and telling people not to smoke. That's the real killer in that movie.
Yes, there you go.
Jesus Christ, he killed more cigarettes in that movie than anything.
We just deciphered the real message of Joker.
I almost went and bought a carton of cigarettes after leaving that fucking movie.
And you're smoking and you're just listening to dancing, which I played like constantly after I saw that movie. It had me feeling good. I never thought that fucking song that's mostly used during like sport games and shit like that.
Yeah. Basketball games and shit. It was so fucking, I was like, there's not a more inappropriate song right now. It's so great. Well, since we're going to get into that then, we've been dodging this all night. We're going to go ahead and jump into it by showing the preview for the movie. Mm-hmm. But please remind yourselves, everybody, this is heavy spoilers. We're talking everything that happened about it. Everything is up for grabs. So we're not holding back at all. So spoilers.
Yes, right. So get ready.
We warned you.
Because the Machine Room podcast is about to go into the room where we just saw the Joker, and it's the open roundtable discussion.
Yes.
About this great film that just hit us. So we're gonna start off with the trailer right now.
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Sorry.
Arthur, I have some bad news for you.
It's not playing, is that?
This is the last time we'll be meeting.
You don't listen, do you? You just
I thought you on the video.
Every week. How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
No, fuck that.
When I was a little
Can you download it real quick?
People I was going to be a comedian. Everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
And I was like waiting and no one said shit. They just got way serious. People on the podcast, like audio listeners, are like, what the fuck's happening?
wasn't it?
Until then, we're going to talk about tiny skateboards.
For my whole life,
We're going to talk about tiny skateboards and hacky sacks.
I even really existed,
No, I'm not a hippie.
but I do.
I just like hacky sack.
And people are starting to notice.
I'm actually stuck at it now that I'm like older and I have no balance.
Is this a joke to you?
Just download it. Just download it for sure if it's an OBS.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
All right. Did anybody even hear anything?
Yeah.
Did they?
I don't know. I've been seeing shit. Did you guys hear it in chat?
I'm sorry, people listening to this on fucking like Spotify and iTunes and Google, man. It's
And we don't edit shit out. This is out. This is going out raw.
barely.
Is
All
it-
right. All right.
Now I hear an echo.
Oh yeah. Because I just had the desktop audio playing. Okay. So
Just
I know what
download
to
it.
do. I know what to do. It's this. There's this thing.
Do you want to see my impression of Richard Pryor?
Do it. That's fucked up. He just lit a fire. Oh shit. That's
It's funny as hell to
hilarious.
me.
Alright, hold on.
Oh,
I know
it's so funny.
exactly what to do.
I'm just like licking that shit on my desk that I can fuck with. You want me to read some William Blake poems?
Sure, I guess.
I have the whole set.
What is this? No, not that. Cancel.
I made Danny laugh. That's all that matters. And Kaiju, because he's here. And while we're waiting, I do want to always thank everybody that's here live. You guys are awesome. Everybody that listens to the audio stream later, you guys are amazing. I love all you guys.
Yes,
We wouldn't do it without you guys.
at all. This one. Would that do it? That's not it.
Oh, thank you, Kaiju.
What can you say?
I have this one too. He says that he loves us too.
Aw, you're
It's
gonna
my-
make me cry.
My big baby.
Her big baby.
It's my favorite because it's from Arkham Asylum. And I love that game.
Yes.
Danny was like the first listener, I think,
Of all time?
of all time.
Oh shit, there you go.
You want to see my passport?
I'm playing it now. They should hear it now.
I see it.
But do you hear it?
I have some bad news for you. This is the last time we'll be meeting.
You don't listen, do you? You just ask the
Last
same
time.
questions every week. You don't How's your job? Are you having any negative thoughts? All I have are negative thoughts.
And finally, in a world where everyone thinks they can do my job, check out this guy.
When I was a little boy and told people I was going to be a comedian, everyone laughed at me. Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
It's so awful, isn't it?
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice.
You think this is funny? Is this a joke to you?
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker? Send in the clowns.
Oh, chill. Let's get this shit out of the way now. Joker trailer, full trailer right there. And now the gates are open. We are going to talk about Todd Phillips' Joker movie. And I'm going to open the floor first to Rachel. Go ahead.
I ain't got nothing. I'm kidding. Deer in the headlights. So at its roots, the movie's about a guy named Arthur Fleck who lives with his mom. More like his mom lives with him. I don't know. He's basically taking care of his mom and she's older. He works as a clown. That's like his job. And the first main scene, you see him. These kids take a sign, and he chases them down for the sign because it's not his; it belongs to the store. So he's trying to get the sign back, gets the shit beat out of him, and from that, he gets in trouble at work because the guys at the store, then basically the clowns get rented out wherever they're needed. So he was supposed to be doing the clown work in front of the store, and the store owner wanted the sign back, and he's like trying to tell him, I got jumped, these kids broke it, didn't you hear about it? And like they don't care. Then he's like trying to get mental health medication for he has multiple problems, and he's just constantly kind of put off, like people ignore him or don't take him seriously, and he has to take care of his mom, who's crazy too. And in the midst of this, he has these like a very active imagination. So he imagines himself on like a TV show. He imagines himself with the neighbor girl. And so you're always kind of questioning what's real and what's not.
It's a lot.
Didn't run out of you. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
There's a lot to dissect in that movie, but so basically after he gets jumped, this guy that he works with gives him a gun. He's like, well, while you're out there, you need to protect yourself. You can, get me back later. He's like, okay, well, thank you. He's like, well, we're not supposed to have guns. He's like, well, that'll be our secret. So long-winded talks. So he's at a children's hospital.
Uh-huh.
He's doing a performance there as a clown, and the gun falls out. So boss hears about it and gets fired from that. So that kind of like slowly starts to descend. And then after that, the hospital where he gets his meds ends the funding. So he's not going to get his meds anymore or have his therapist to talk to. So now he can't work. He can't take care of his mom. He can't get his meds. So that's really what kind of starts everything. Plus, the guy that he worked with lied about him, said that it was his gun and he was trying to sell it and all this stuff. So people are lying about him. He can't get his meds, like I said, and he's dreaming about this girl that he'll never get. And then from there is the subway scene, which you see in the preview. And if you want to start from there.
All the stuff builds up to this moment where he's in the subway, and what we forgot to mention is that his laughter, he has an uncontrollable laughter defect, that he just laughs when he's like feeling uncomfortable or something like that, like,
or sad,
yeah,
or depressed, like
his emotion is totally opposite. So though he's laughing, seeming like he's all happy and is finding something funny, it's not. It's just he's very nervous and having anxiety, and it even affects him, like it's hurting him, you know, like it's uncontrollable laughter, which is creative.
Like hysteria.
Yeah, it makes sense for the Joker. He's being attacked by these three wealthy, well, not wealthy, but high class men who later we find out work for Wayne Enterprises. And while he's being attacked, he had enough. He uses the gun and he commits his first murder.
Well, they were beating the shit out of him to be. I mean, he wasn't just like, oh, they're picking on him. They got him on the ground and he got the first hit. He tried to kick one, and then they just beat the shit out of him.
It was clearly out of self-defense, but it just really got like to the extreme. That was the first of creating the new persona in a way, but I think it was at that point that he realized that, because you see a scene afterwards that I found out that they totally created on the spot, because it was supposed to be something different. When he goes to the bathroom, they wanted him to like, oh, what have I done, blah 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 kind of shit, like he was really worried, but they were like, this doesn't feel like the kind of character like what he would do at that moment. Instead, they went to that bathroom and they had the music already, which is usually not like it doesn't
available.
It doesn't usually happen. Like music is usually made after the movie, but for some odd reason or whatever, or just like everything's set in stone, that music was available to them at that moment, and Joaquin Phoenix was able to react to the music. And Todd Phillips said that the Joker character is very very, very, like his world, his mind is musical, you know, like it is. He runs by the music, you know, it's in him.
Right.
So when he heard his music, that's when he started doing this little freaking dance, and he's kind of like he's becoming is a metamorph, you know, he's changing.
Metamorphosis.
A metamorphosis. He's changing into the new him, you know, like he just got freed when he did this act, because it was kind of
liberating.
Yes, there you go, liberating. Like he found the answer to his cure, you know. He can't get his hands on meds or whatever, so this is his cure, how he can cope with the society that he's facing, and bring it to him. And as the movie keeps going on, and that's when we revealed more stuff, you know. His world is all crumbling down on him. He lost his job, you know. His best friend was helping out with a gun, and didn't even have his bag, and throw him under the bus. And then finds out that his mother, who's been waiting for a note from Thomas Wayne this whole time, found a note that she was writing to Thomas Wayne, and that apparently he was an illegitimate child of her and Thomas Wayne, so that he is actually related to the Waynes and is the brother of Bruce Wayne. And then he trying to find out answers about this, but when he's confronted by Alfred and Thomas Wayne, they both tell him, basically Thomas Wayne told him, like, no, your mother's crazy, you're adopted, you were never part of this family, and leave my family alone. So now Arthur Fleck is all like, what the fuck? He's mad at his mother. He finds the damn documents and sees that she was admitted into psychiatric help, and that
just that, she was in Arkham, which they don't call it Arkham Asylum, they call it Arkham State Hospital, which makes more sense in the real world. But she was committed there.
and he sees the adoption papers of him, and then sees that when he was a child, she neglected him while a boyfriend beat the shit out of him while he was tied up to a radiator, thus giving him mental fucking brain damage and creating his condition right now, where he just laughing uncontrollably because he was just fucking abused and fucked up as a kid and neglected by his mother, who was crazy, who was so in love with Thomas Wayne that she believed that he was their child.
Offspring,
but this brings the question, because like you said, we're watching a movie that's a narrative of this character that I have my fucking like interpretation of this whole movie, of what went down towards the end. We see this and we don't know what's real, what's not by the end, because of especially when it comes to the girl,
right?
When it comes to the girlfriend, quote unquote, that we find out, because he goes into her place, sits down, and then she's shocked and like, I know you're the guy who lives down the street, down the hall with the mother. What are you doing here? Like, she's scared. Then that's when they show clips showing the whole Fight Club kind of thing, where he was by himself that whole time whenever she was around. So that was created in his head. So it's like, oh, okay. But then then you have to also judge other stuff, because there was a scene in the beginning too where he was in the freaking the late night show, and we knew that wasn't really happening, because again cuts back to him in the room where he's
with
watching
his mom.
Yeah, so he was just visioning it. But now we see this where we never cut back to anything. It was just there. So it's like, okay, what else really happened? We're seeing this movie through his narrative. It's him telling the story, which
it's all him. There's almost never any scenes that he's not in. There's never any like The Walking Dead, like where they cut to different characters and you're seeing it's Joaquin Phoenix is in every fucking scene.
Yeah, and so, I want to bring that. That brings me to something else where towards the end of the movie, okay, and since this is all spoiler fucking shit, so I just talk about it.
Spoilerific.
Yeah. Towards the end of the movie, when he goes on the TV show, he's told to introduce himself like the Joker, blah blah. He goes in there, he confesses his fucking crime to the world. This is a live show, and then he goes off the chain, and then he kills the freaking TV host. So he shot Robert De Niro, and
brutally.
Yes, and then he goes to the camera, and he starts saying some things before they shut it off. Later, when the camera's panning out, showing all these other TVs in the production, we start seeing clip. We see one where he gets tackled down. So we know that he got caught. Then we see him in the police car. And then we see him going down, getting taken, and he's seeing all the chaos that's happening, everybody with the clown mask and stuff like that, the revolution that he started because of something that happened in the train station earlier when someone got accidentally shot by a cop while chasing him. And then an ambulance hits it, and one of his followers comes, takes him, drags him out, and puts him on the top of the car. At that point, and this is when I realized that we've been seeing this movie all through him. Everything is with him there. There's never a shot, anything where he's not there. It is at this point that he's taken out, put it on top of the car, that we start seeing what's going on around Gotham. And we see the theater, and we see the Waynes come out. We see the alley, and we see the person go after it, blah, blah, blah. All intercutting with what's going on with him over there. And then he wakes up, and then he becomes this hero to everybody, and he draws the blood face on him, and he starts partying with his people and shit like that. And then Black, and then him at the Arkham State Hospital. And that's how this movie ends. He's talking to a psychiatrist, and she's like, "What's so funny?" And he's like, he starts laughing.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, he says you wouldn't get it. He starts laughing. But this laughter, which I also found out and realized, is different from every other laugh you heard in the movie.
It's more controlled.
Yeah, it is said that this is his true laugh. That everything else that he had was not real. This is his true laughter. This is him being genuine. And he's saying that you don't get the joke. Now, the joke to me is how, first of all, he's telling the story and we don't even know if it's true or not. Second of all, in his story, he created Batman. He created the chaos in the world, and the Joker becomes the hero and is the one glorified and whatnot, you know? The joke is that life was, you know, fucking bullshit, and then he still kind of like wins at the end. And then we just get a clip of him, a shot of him walking down the hallway, leaving blood marks with his footprints, and then having like a Scooby-Doo moment, getting chased around. And that's how it ends. And it's also, I want to present how the movie is being presented too, because the movie takes a lot from like Taxi Driver and The Kings of Comedy, which starred Robert De Niro, both movies. So that's why
the King of Comedy.
Yeah. What'd I call it?
Kings of Comedy.
Oh, sorry. You know, there's that other one with Bernie Mac. It's based on Bernie Mac and them. But yeah, you know, the movie starts off like old 70s and 80s kind of artistic film. And even at the end, it says the end, which if you think about it, is how the Joker would present a movie about his own life, quote unquote. You know, it's just a jumble of stuff. There's some... I want to point out that why I believe this guy just created all this and was just telling it to a psychiatrist, and most of it is real, most of it isn't, because if you know the Joker, he never tells a straight off story. He's just making it as it goes. So earlier in the movie, when he's talking to the social worker or psychiatrist, whatever she is, she mentions, you know, his time in Arkham. And then you see a quick cut of him just banging himself on the fucking window in a white room, dressed up the way he is. So what is to say if that was him actual, and then the rest are just clips of what was him, maybe sometimes, but other times was it? Did he really get on the TV show and really shoot the guy, or he didn't? And I believe the train station scene, perhaps maybe that was true, but I do believe that this is just a jumble of a lot of stuff from a narrative of him telling a narrative, and the narrative stop just when after he got hit by the ambulance, and it was just like that's when his joke kicked in, because it started going off. Because how would he know about the Waynes and Gotham like that, unless he's like,
right,
you know, making it up like, haha, this is what caused that was me, I created him, he didn't create me, or whatever kind of shit, you know. And then there's the word that this is like kind of like a book from Gotham TV series, where it's like, this is not the Joker, but this is an icon or the ideal that will create a Joker,
right?
You know, this is just some guy in freaking Arkham telling a story that could be real, could not be real, but it's a story of how the Joker was born.
Exactly.
That's how I took it. After some viewing, which makes sense, which I wanted to get to, because the whole mother thing, and what did she like really have an affair, blah, blah, blah. But then there was a picture after he killed his mother because she bullshitted him. There was a picture in the back that said, you know, love your smile, Thomas Wayne. Initials, you know, so it's like, oh shit, well, maybe they did have an affair. But it also brings me that whole, like, if he created the story, he's creating the story, so he created the story of being even more tied to Bruce Wayne. Because if anything, Joker wants to be very connected to Bruce Wayne. Joker knows who Batman is. There's no damn secret. And he wants to be super connected because he believes that both their fate and their destinies are intertwined and they need each other. And he loves it.
Yeah, he gets off on the idea. It's like a yin and yang kind of thing.
Yes, because now that I think about it, but now that I think about it, like, he said that he just wants to be looked at or accepted kind of shit, you know?
Right.
And now that I think about it, that's exactly what he wants from Batman. He just loves the fact that he's very, like, noticed accepted by this one guy by fucking up his damn life mostly all the
Yeah, he wants to be seen and accepted as he is as the Joker. Like, that's his true form. And he had said something to his mom before he killed her. He said something about his laugh. He said, "You used to always say that that was a condition of mine." He goes, "That's just the real me." And so he's really just coming into his own, especially, I mean, so late in life to be, you know, like a late bloomer kind of thing like that. Because he's really like a man-child through the first of it. He's really skinny. He always seems like he's shorter than everybody else when he's not. He always seems to be looking up at people like a child. He always just seems to be kind of doing what other people tell him. And when he sits down, he slouches and stuff. He really has no self-esteem, no presence, no identity, really. And then it wasn't until he became the Joker that you see him sitting up straight. He's very commanding in a way. He has a very intense personality. He's very sure of himself. And that is who he wants to be seen as. Because that's who he thinks that he always has been. Was supposed to become his whole life. Has been leading up to that. And they get into that in like, was it Arkham City? Where they kind of made it like a fate thing, where like he was always supposed to have been the Joker. And like his whole life before that was all bullshit. And so that was kind of like the way he was in the movie. He was like, everything else is bullshit up until this moment. And I think that's why in his mind he had told the story like that. And again, it makes him look like the hero because they start this class war between like the rich and the poor. And he was the one that kind of started that for shooting the brokers on the train.
Yeah, it's definitely the joke right there. And it's kind of like with the recent graphic novel of the White Knight.
Yeah.
You know, where he becomes like the hero and is fighting for the people kind of stuff. And that's what this Joker in this movie was. He believed he was fighting for the people, but he also said too that it's like, it's not a political thing. He just doing it because he had enough.
Yeah, and he even says, he basically admits to being a nihilist too. He says, I don't believe anything political. I don't believe in anything. And that's what a nihilist is. A nihilist doesn't believe in anything. So it was more like a cause and effect kind of thing. He was standing up for himself. He had enough. He killed the 3 guys on the train, but it started this whole thing. And I think that was the huge joke to him.
Yeah.
It was like, I wasn't even trying to do anything. I don't believe anything political, but look what I did. People are fucking losing their minds. They're rioting in the street. They're wearing clown masks to look like me. And I wasn't even trying to do anything.
No. He's like, they're doing their own thing, but he loved that he caused it. He loved that he got this attention and people are listening to him and he created that thing. But it's like, you know, me and you, we saw Gotham. It was the same shit going on there and we loved it. You know, like he was just doing his stuff and he created this ideal and he had these followers and he was being like a hero to many people and he just loved it. He was glorifying himself in it.
Yeah, he got off on the fact, especially of being a nobody for so long and nobody knowing who he was and just you'd pass him on the street, you wouldn't even notice. Like he was just like, he's very like, you know, blends into the background kind of person. His clothing is very bland and it doesn't stand out. He just looks like an everyday, just kind of nobody. So it makes sense for him to be such like a flamboyant, like icon that he perceives himself as.
The movie, Todd Phillips did a wonderful job in this movie because, like I said at the end, you really start questioning everything you saw. You know,
everything.
Like, did this go out as it was perceived, or was it just some guy playing a fucking joke on you and telling you a fucking story, just, you know, bullshitting or whatever? What was real, what was not real, and and how well I still can't believe this is the same guy who did like Starsky and Hutch and the Hangover trilogy, because
I know.
this movie was shot beautifully. Okay, my favorite scene. There's a lot of favorite scenes, but my favorite scene is the whole staircase thing, because
Yes.
it's shot beautifully. It's done wonderfully. The music selection is just like out of nowhere, but for some reason it fits, because it's just like, look, I'm out here, I'm born, and I'm ready to go. This is the starting lineup and shit. You know, like the game's about to start, and he's just out there just having the time of his life.
Because he was free.
Yeah.
That was the first time in his life he was himself. He got to be who he truly was. And he didn't know who he was. He didn't know who he was, what he wanted to be. He thought he wanted to be a stand-up comedian. He was awful at it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody laughed at him, not with him. They laughed at him because he couldn't stop laughing at himself, and the jokes were awful. Then when he finds out who he truly is and really what he really wants to be, that's what made that staircase scene so beautiful. It was him in his own and just being free. Like the first time a bird took off, or like, you know, something so beautiful and chaotic at the same time. That's why that scene is so amazing.
Yeah. It's shot so beautifully, done so well. The score of that movie is really good. It's really good. So really thumbs up to, I believe it is a female who did it. I forgot what her name is. I did listen to the score all the way through, and it's really good. But it's definitely a movie that has you, like, there's people who clearly see it and just take it as it is linear, you know, this
Right.
happened. But it's a movie that you have to question everything and get your own, like, your own kind of perspective of what really just happened and what was told. And Todd Phillips said he's not going to say exactly what they were trying to, what they created or did until years from now. So until then, we're all going to be here having fun interpreting what Joker was and what
Or
Joker,
guessing.
yeah, or Joker is. And that's the fun game, because that's the kind of game that happened back when the Matrix came out. What the fuck happened, you know? And the Joker just did that. It's up to interpretation, but he at least says that he's going to answer it, not like something like in Inception, where I still don't know if that motherfucker was awake or sleeping.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck happened there at the end. That's like they're going to have to interpret it the rest of their lives. But Joker, this movie fell super well into his mythology and how he is in the comic books. This person knew the source and knew that this guy is just fucked up in the head, and if he were to tell his story, it would be told that convoluted and just all over the place. And there was a shot that I was questioning when I saw it, where everything went to shits, and he goes and just takes stuff out of the fridge, and then he just puts himself in there.
Yeah.
But then it just cuts to the phone calling and him in the background touching himself. And I was like, the fuck just happened there, you know? Like,
And I think it was meant that way. It was meant to be like, okay, did he go in the refrigerator and die? I mean, like, was everything after that made up? Like, and I even read another comment where somebody said, well, that was like his cocoon.
mm-hmm.
He went in there, and then when he came out, he was the Joker.
Yes.
He wasn't Arthur anymore. And even if you think about, you know, people are mad about the whole name thing. It's like, well, if you look at the files that he got from Arkham State about his mom, he was adopted, and his adopted name was missing. So in the end, he still didn't really actually have a name. So the name Arthur Fleck was only given to him by his adopted mother.
He's still nameless.
So again, with the refrigerator, it's like he went in the nobody and came out Joker.
I saw it like that too. It was just like, just out of nowhere, you know? It just happened. It was like, wait, what's going on here? Is that him back there touching himself? The fuck? There's also the theory that he died when the ambulance hit him.
Okay.
hit the squad car. So everything else after that was just made up. And if we're talking about stuff that really happened, then definitely him getting hit by the ambulance and then standing above the crowd definitely was in his head. Because I don't think that really happened. I think he just got tackled down and then taken to Arkham if we're talking about linear.
I think I would love for that to be real, but it was so one-sided that it has to be in his head because all those people that were doing the riot stuff couldn't have watched the thing with him on the TV show. So they wouldn't even know who the fuck he was to worship him like that at the end.
Yeah, that's true.
They're all out rioting and protesting and all that stuff, so they're not going to say, I mean, there may be a few of them, but not that many people. I mean, it was like a shit ton of people, like probably in the hundreds, giving him praise. And
one person was watching that fucking Live with Maury whatever shit, and then the show went off. He was like, oh, I gotta go save this guy, and just like stole an ambulance and tracked the police squad down. He's like, well, there he is.
Yeah, and then check what's the same clean platas.
Plates.
They started dressing up when he shot the people on the bus, right? Because Thomas Wayne called all the protesters and poor people and stuff like that. He called them all clowns, so they started dressing up like clowns. Also because the shooter was dressed like a clown. But yeah, I totally think the ending scene was in his head. Because also the next scene when they cut to Arkham Asylum, he doesn't have green hair or anything anymore. So he looks like he's obviously been there a while.
Yeah. I totally think this is just him telling a story, and then he's all like laughing at it at the end.
Yeah.
And some of it probably happened, but maybe he never did become like the Joker or whatever and shit like that. Maybe he just told the story of the Joker. Maybe this thing will get around in Arkham and someone will actually hear this story and be like, well, then I'm gonna be that actual Joker that he was telling and shit, I mean, he was just coping with his own little thing. We don't know.
There's a million different directions that they could take this. They could do like they did on Gotham, and the Joker's just this idea, or maybe this guy is Joker and he just told a fucked up story because he thought it was funny. Maybe it's all true. I mean, we don't know. But there's definitely some lies in there because of the way that he was telling the story before, especially, like you said, the thing with him being on the show before was obviously fake. The whole relationship with the girlfriend. And then you get into other stuff. Like, I remember I was talking to Danny about when he shot the 3 people on the train. I thought that they were going to show a clip of like him waking up or something. And he had envisioned the whole thing, like little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you're always questioning everything that he does. Like, and especially the way that they do movies so often where you think something's real and then they like, it was a flashback or it was a nightmare or, so they're always mind fucking the audience anyway. So you're always guessing anyway. And then you have this awful storyteller, the Joker. So he's going to fuck with your head anyway.
He wants to play with your mind. That's key right there. He wants to play with your mind. Like, maybe I am this and maybe this is that. And maybe I am related to the Waynes. I don't know. He played with it too because he was like, I'm related to the Waynes. No, I'm not. It was all bullshit. But wait, there's this picture right here that says that I was. Even after I just killed my mom over it. And then he doesn't even touch upon it again. He just like shows the picture and then that's it. It's like, okay, maybe I was.
Well, he crumbled it up and threw it away and that was that.
Yeah.
But
doesn't matter. I'm the Joker now.
I kept trying to break down stuff that was wrong with him, like psychologically. And it was so much to do with, especially like him and his mom, that whole like codependent thing. And obviously he had some, form of trying to cope with things that happened to him, that, you know, that was like that kind of hysteria, kind of laughing. Like he didn't know how to cope with somebody telling him no, or somebody doing something, you know, fucked up to him. Instead of saying, hey, don't do that, he would just laugh because he didn't know how to cope with things. And again, it was like he was a man child.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very much like, you know, like, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm just gonna laugh, or, you know, I can't cry in this situation, so I'm just gonna laugh. So there's so much to unfold there. I would love if they did a version of the movie with commentary from a professional psychologist to really break down everything that you're seeing.
That would be really interesting.
You know, people that know me know I have mental illness. I have PTSD, and I have bipolar depression. You know, it's nothing that I'm ashamed of. And that scene where you find out that he was abused and all that stuff after he gets the papers from Arkham State Hospital, that really resonated with me and really put me in this fucked up state after I saw the movie, because I had stuff like that happen to me when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like, I was like, I almost couldn't talk after it was over, because I was just like processing all the stuff that happened to him, all the stuff that happened to me. And it was like, the way that he gave in to that kind of insanity is like something you never want to do, but it's like, it's something that anybody could do.
Yeah, the one thing that Rocio pointed out about this movie was that I think the reason that it is disturbing to people, and I don't want to say cringy, but disturbing, is because that can happen. That could happen.
Right.
You know, like, and that probably is the cause that people, you know, went to extreme measures, because that was literally someone dealing with some mental health that reached the edge and quote unquote found his cure. You know,
Right.
I really believe that when he shot those guys in the train, that was his cure, because he was finally free. He was finally at ease, at peace, and felt alive.
That was something that in my story, and I've showed you it before, what do you call it, story synopsis for my script. That was something that I really wanted to touch on too, was that the Joker should be a cautionary tale of that could happen, you know, of course with heavy extremes, but that could happen. And that's why, I mean, people should watch this movie to be like, okay, never let things get this bad. Know that you have people to talk to, or, you know, there's other friends and family. Don't ever think that this is the end or whatever. Taking people's lives or taking your own lives is not the answer. That's just going to make things worse. And everything he did only made things worse. So again, they did it in a very great way as well to make it a cautionary tale. Yes, he had mental problems and he needed help, and they cut funding. He should have reached out to other sources then. He should have maybe thought about moving away to a place that still had funding for something like that. Or, you know, he was a very kind of defeatist kind of person, that he was like, well, if they're just not going to do that, then fuck it. I'm just going to fucking freak out and think that, you know, that's the end of the world, and it's not.
Yeah.
You have to put your pants on and fucking get up and go fix shit. And that's something that I've learned. You know, I had a lot of bad shit happen last winter and this year, and that was something that I learned, is you just have to keep going.
Definitely have to keep going. I always tell that to people whenever they're extremely down and they just like feel like giving up, and they have suicidal thoughts, and I just tell them, like, look, it's difficult and it's hard, but it's never exactly over, you know. And I've reached points where I'm just like, you know, like, it's just, I feel defeated. I feel like nothing great is gonna come out of out of anything at the end. But then you gotta realize that it's not over. There's always something else on the other side. There's always another door, and shit would get better. I tell people that they just have to work on themselves. You know, like you need to be happy with you, and you need to find your core of people. I truly believe without my friends, I don't know where I would have gone. You know, especially when I got really depressed. And the reason I got depressed is fucking stupid, you know, but these are little things, like, these are things that get people depressed. I would have gone, like, who knows where I would have gone if I didn't have my friends there. You totally need your core of people or something, an outlet or something, so you don't go too far. I feel in that movie, whenever he was talking to a psychiatrist or a social worker or whatever, that's real. It probably was an interpretation of what he was actually doing at Arkham State, you know, like actually talking to someone. And he said, like, you know, you don't listen. You never listen. You just take it in and then you say something else. It's like, that's him. Literally, he's literally here giving himself out, and the person doesn't listen back. You know when the person listens? When he's saying something outrageous or outlandish or extreme. That's when they listen. Maybe that's why he kept saying things or doing the things he said, because people actually listen. It's difficult in this world to listen to people. You know, I'm no better. There's people that when I see this movie, I think about other people that I found weird and strange, and how I might not, you know, I might be one of those people that they're really like, I fucking hate that guy and he's a dick, and you know, probably make their lives worse. But there's someone for everyone, you know. I don't know. I don't want to be that guy and stuff. So I try to be nice to everybody. But if I try to be nice to you and you're just completely fucking a dick, what do you want me to do, right?
I'd said a lot too about, even though this movie takes place in the past, we're still dealing with those problems today. The same shit, and it never ends.
It's never gonna end. No.
The way that people are so self-absorbed and egocentric and selfish is the same way they were back then, if not worse now, because now it seems like it's the norm. Now people think that other people are disposable. If once you don't have anything that they need, they just throw you to the side and they're just fucking done with you.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to try to find that core group of people. But once you find somebody like that, you really have to hold on to them and make the relationship work, because everybody does need somebody. And that's why he was so quick to, you know, dive into hell like that and turn into this extreme, because he had no one to talk it out. Yeah. He had no one to listen to him and say, this is fucked up. This is what's going on in my head. Nobody gave a shit. And I've been there. I've totally fucking been there. But when you do have people that listen and go, yes, it's going to be okay, the sun's still going to shine tomorrow, then it gives you something to look forward to. And that's something that I've had to do or find in everyday life, is you live day by day and you just try to find something to look forward to. Give yourself things to do. Plan things with other people so that you have someone to look forward to seeing and talking with and doing stuff with, or even just sitting and watching Hulu with somebody, or talking and stuff like this. Like, this show is very therapeutic for me, because in my day-to-day life, I talk more on this show than I do all week. And
you save it for this show.
It's true. I don't talk to people. I'm, you know, like I have asthma and bronchial spasms, so I can't talk very loud. So people are always like, you're so quiet. Why don't you say anything? I mean, you wouldn't hear me anyway, and you're not going to listen, because most people don't listen. So it's really hard for me to find people to talk to. But when I do, it's like I turned into a motor mouth.
Next time they say that, just tell them that don't even say anything. Just have like a little cue card thingy. Yeah, right on it. It's like, because I'm Black Bolt, and if I speak, you'll die. Just
There
like
you
that.
go. There is that the episode of Handmaid's Tale where they find out they have the mask part, and then some of the women that have the mask have their lips pierced together. I thought it'd be funny to wear one of those masks around, because then you wouldn't have to talk to people. You could just point at your little mask and be like, I don't have anything to say, because people are so selfish nowadays that even if you have something to say, they're not going to listen to you anyway. So again, it's so hard for me to try to find people like that. But again, it's night and day when you do, and you're able to liberate yourself of all these kind of problems and just have somebody not even give you solutions, just listen and go, yeah, I understand, but it's going to be okay.
I know there's people out there who are just like looking for someone to accept them and to make their lives better, and that's when I tell them, like, you can't do that. You gotta do yourself. I know someone who constantly, she's going through from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy, and she's like, I'm just tired of it. Every time she goes through this, every time she meets a dude, she thinks that it's the one, and then the dude is like, no, I'm not. And then she just falls into a depression. It's just a cycle, And every time I gotta pick her up or try to pick her up, even though she's all like, no, my life sucks and be better without me. And I'm like, no, that's not it. It's just you gotta do you. Right now, I'm trying to tell this person Halloween's her favorite time of the year. I'm trying to tell this person, she showed me she's decorating her front lawn and shit. I'm trying to tell this person, okay, now get into the makeups, because you do beautiful makeups and outfits and stuff like that. Get into that. Do that. No, I don't have time. It's like, well, then balance it. Make the time. Because it's something that you love and you're passionate about. It'll be a perfect outlet and it'll be therapeutic. Do that. This is your time. Freaking do that. It's like, no, I really don't have enough time. I'm like, okie dokie. That's what I said. Reply back, because I'm trying here. I'm like, do this, because it's going to help you out. And it's what you love, and you should do what you love. Don't worry about anything else. Forget that fucker. Forget that other fucker. Forget all these guys. Forget about even going after anybody, because you don't need anyone to make you better. Yes, you need people in your lives, but you don't need anyone to freaking save your life. You know what I'm saying?
You don't.
Like, I think you mentioned that, and I think about Arthur Fleck and how he perceived this woman to be his girlfriend, right? And at one point, it was in the hospital. I was like, why is this guy down if he has her in his life? He should be happy. He has somebody. But then later on, you find out he never did.
He only had that one encounter in the elevator, and that was that.
And that's it. And then after that, he imagined her in his life. And if it had really been something, then maybe he could have been a little bit more saved, But
I think the scene where he's following her around town, I think that was real.
Oh, that was real. Her
reaction to it was not real. Because she was like, oh, okay, kind of thing.
Yeah.
She confronts him and goes, were you following me? He goes, yeah. She's like, okay. Like, a real person would have been fucking livid.
Yeah.
And she was just totally okay with that. I was like, that was bullshit.
A lot of shit would have been living. Like, when he killed him, and then he did his dance, and then he goes and just, like, kisses her, and then she welcomes him in. I was like, the fuck? Like, all that was like, what the hell's going on? But then later it made sense. It was like, okay, I get it.
That's what he wanted to happen, but it never happened.
It was in his head.
But then again, like, if you get into what you're talking about, if he had things in his whole life that, I mean, he didn't ever do anything for him. He was always doing shit for other people. He was basically, all the money he made went to support his mom. He had nothing in his life for him. So you really have to reach out to find things that you do for you. And even if you're single your whole fucking life, you do them for you because they make you happy. And make sure it's not something like killing puppies or something like that. Make sure it doesn't hurt you or anybody or anything else. But if you like Legos, or you like knobs and you collect things and movies and you like geeky stuff, you read comics, or if you're a sports person and stats are your thing and you watch football, that's great. Have something that you can look forward to, because that's what life's about, is the little things.
They are definitely distractions as well, because the more
Yeah.
you get into your head, the more, dude, I had a moment, and it was last year or earlier this year. No, it was definitely last year, right? I think it was last year. But I had a moment where it was just like a couple days. I don't even know if I told you, but it was like a couple days where I just was like suddenly depressed. Like, there was no reason to it. I don't know what it was, but like I had these moments and I was just like, I felt like shit. I'll start crying, and I don't know why. I think well, like after it happened, I think looking back, it probably was a shock factor, because this happened after Randy came back into life and told me that he just like fought cancer, you know?
Right.
And I was like, oh shit. You know, the reaction was like, oh, well, okay, well, you want to hang out? You know, he was talking about hanging out and shit. He was just like, hey, man, you know, I've been gone because I was fighting cancer, but whatever, man, you want to hang out and stuff? And I'm like, oh, shit, all right, cool. But I think afterwards, I don't know, I started like, oh shit, like, you know, I could have just lost a friend, and what the fuck if this just happened to me, or what if this happens to something, or what if I just lose my mom, or I don't know what it was, but I think all that shit just started meshing in my head, and I just fell into like a depression, and then I started fearing having like some mental health, because the mind is scary, you know. There's stories, everybody who had that stuff was like fine until one day it was just like, or from what I heard from some people, you know, it's just like bam. And I fear like, oh shit, this is me about to like just like fucking go through something for the rest of my life. But it was just like a day or two or three or like some time of a week, and then afterwards it didn't stop. And then I told Rocio about it, and she was like, well, you should have told me something. It was like, I didn't want to freak you out, and also I don't know what the hell was going on. But I guess I should have told her, you know. But how would it have been if I just called her out of nowhere? It's like, I don't know what's going on, but I just like, you know. And then she would be freaking out like, oh my God. Like I told her I almost crashed into a car, and she was like, oh my God, are you cool? Just go to the side and breathe. And I'm like, I'm good. I was just telling you that this fucker just almost like just swerved into my lane when he shouldn't have. And I'm just venting to you and, you know, talking. But it was nothing. It's just episodes I had out of nowhere, and I feared more fear of like, oh shit, this is my life from now on.
That's exactly what it's like, and it's almost every day like that for people that have this stuff. I mean, that's me every day, and people, you know, they want to tell you blanket statements like, oh, just get over it, or don't think about it, or just move on, or it's impossible. You know, you can't just say things like that. You have to get them through that moment. It's all about just getting through moments. And once you get through that moment, you're fine. So you had that moment where you have that depression, hey, like, and that's exactly what it's like. You know, I can be having the best day. Like I remember one day this summer, I'm working for myself. I have my own business doing dog care, and I'm dog sitting, and I'm making my own money, and I was making an actual living from it, where I was paying my bills and my rent, and I was like, I'm self-sufficient. I'm doing things myself. I'm going to go get me a coffee. I have my awesome car. I'm having a great day. I'm listening to my favorite music. And then the next minute, it just fucking hits you, and it's gone, and you don't know why. But nothing anybody can say, those blanket statements, it just makes it worse. The only thing that helps is if you have somebody you can sit there and talk about why you're maybe feeling like that. Well, what happened before that? Well, I was thinking about so-and-so, and then this happened, and I was thinking about that. And that's where it really goes to, is when you're trapped in your own head like that, where all you can do is think about it to yourself. That's when you start going down and down and down and down.
Yep.
But when you have somebody that you can bounce ideas off of and talk with, then you get it out, and it's not just trapped in your head, and then it's gone. Or if you can write it down, that helps too.
Yeah.
Just anything to get out of your head, because that's like a death sentence.
It is. And that's why, you know, I'm really trying to get this friend to just focus on what she loves to do. Yeah, and her, and focus on what she loves, and her kids. I mean, she's a mother, for crying out loud. You don't want your kids to see you go through this shit. Just focus on what you're doing. Do what you love, and do whatever it takes to be happy. And it's not an easy task. I understand that, because you know what, life is fucking hard. Life is crazy. There's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of shit that it throws at you, and there's people who got the mentality like, yeah, whatever, man, and then keep going. But there's people who got the mentality that's like, you know, they just feel like they're getting rocks thrown on them, and they're just getting piled on and stuck and have no choice but to accept the outcome. And you shouldn't. You gotta crawl yourself out of that somehow, some way. I don't know the answers, because everybody is different, you know, and there can be people saying, you know, just get over it, but it's not that easy. I know it's not that easy, but the point is, try.
Yeah, you have to do something, because doing nothing is not going to help you. You have to try and do something. And again, it's that whole kind of defeatist attitude where you think that, oh, this is just the way it is. And again, to go back to the movie, the point where his whole life changes when he stood up for himself. Granted, he did it in an extreme way and 3 people died from it. The point of that moment and why it was so cathartic was because he stood up for himself. And that's what people need to do for themselves, even if it's against your own ego, your own depression, whatever. You have to stand up and say, no more. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm going to fucking get up. I'm going to clean my room. I'm going to fucking go get a job. I'm going to, you know, whatever you need to do to make yourself better, to make yourself move on. And moving on is really the key. And if you're not constantly moving forward, then, you know, you're going to be those people that think all the rocks are just piling in on you, and you're just going to decay and die.
And I agree. Definitely clean up your rooms, okay? Clean up your places, please.
Clean your room. Wear clean socks. Wash your feet.
I've seen like a freaking somebody's stories, you know, those like Facebook stories and Instagram stories kind of shit. I've seen someone's stories where they're just chilling in the living room, and the living room is a fucking mess. And I'm like, how do you live like that? Please clean up after yourself.
It's always like the hoochie mama that does the duck face, and she's like selfing herself and trying to look all hot, and she has like the most disgusting house, and her kids are crawling around in like filth. And bitch, clean your house.
Yeah, there's like that little turd of poop in the toilet.
Just a nugget. I mean, to be real, let me just go on a tangent here. What started my whole thing last year is my mom. She was taking pills and getting evicted, so we're dealing with that. While that's happening, I'm dealing with my landlord trying to kick me out because I wouldn't fix her laptop.
What?
She was honestly that vindictive and mean. She was turning off my utilities. She gave me a fucking eviction notice.
I remember that. I remember you told me.
Yeah. So all of this is going on at once. And then, we finally got my mom in a place where she's okay. And the landlord to get her off my back. I start my job at Amazon. I think everything's okay. Then my best friend killed himself. And so I'm dealing with that. And then I start having seizures. And these are like weeks apart. This is like boom, 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 boom. So then I can't work because I'm having seizures. Then my landlord starts in on me again. So I ended up having to move with the dog sitting client that broke her leg. I'm just gonna get rid of this whole thing. it just fell. So I'm living basically with a stranger, and I felt like a servant. I was there to walk her dogs 4 times a day, and that was it. I wasn't a person to her. I'm I was trying to deal with my own problems. Now I'm dealing with this person that has a broken leg and her 4 dogs, and then my 2 dogs. And then I had my mom's dog and my cat that I was trying to rehome. So it was just all way too much going on. And then she gives me like an end date, like, okay, I'm all magically better. You need to be out by the middle of March. And I'm just like, what the fuck? So I went up to Colorado for about a week, and I was literally homeless. I mean, I had money, but it was just one of those things like I could let the world fall apart right now. I could fucking sit here and die in a fucking Motel 6. And it was just like, I just got to keep going. I had gigs coming up for dog sitting, cat sitting. And I got up and I went back and I worked and I found a place to live, the place I'm in right now. And I just kept going. And really felt like that moment in Castaway when he's at the end and he's just kind of like looking at the 4 roads.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, where do you want to go now? It doesn't matter as long as you keep going.
So that's what that meant.
Yeah. So like, even if you make a bad choice, you made it and you're going to learn from it, but at least you did something. You can't be like these people that just sit around and just let shit happen to them and think that the world is over, because that's not what life's about. And you're not going to get anywhere living like that.
No, it's definitely about moving forward.
And especially for anybody that's had anybody close to them die, they don't want you to sit around and just suffer.
Nope.
They would have wanted you to keep going. And if anything, keep going for them. Keep going for them, with them in your heart and in your mind, and they'll never die.
Yep. And that shit hurts. That shit like affects you hard. When I lost my father, that affected me hard. I was literally, the school didn't matter. So I said, fuck college. And then I wanted to just help my mom. But I didn't even get into the freaking workforce for like maybe 2 years. You know? Like I wouldn't say it was like depression, but it was definitely a transition, you know? Mm-hmm. How do you go on after the one person that I admired was my hero, and I did everything for, because I wanted it's not like I did everything for him, but he was, I did it for him, I guess. If that makes sense. I didn't do it for him, but I did it for him. Because I want him to be proud of me. And when that was taken out of the picture, what mattered now? No offense to my mother, but I was closer to my father, and I love my mom too, and I want her to be proud of me, but she'll be proud of me regardless, and my father will be proud of me regardless too. But I wanted to do everything for him. He's out of the picture. I don't know what to do with life anymore. I wanted to do videos, but my passion for school was killed, not just by my father, but also by the school itself. And people there were all thinking they were the next big thing, but like artistically, like there was a guy who wanted to be like, I want to make movies like David Lynch. And I'm like, oh, that's great. I love Robert Rodriguez, so I found no one there.
Right.
I found no one there. I felt like an outcast. I was like, I don't belong here. And you guys are making me hate the passion of film because there's a whole political process to it. When I'm all like, I just want to get a camera and let me shoot, And absence of my father, I didn't care. I was just homebound like crazy. But at that time, believe it or not, is when I did stuff like the Juggernaut Bitch and all the other freaking dubs, and I did videos with my friends and blah blah blah. So I have to say, like, that was my outlet. That's where I like didn't fall into anything, because I could have just fucking like just been laying in bed watching ER every afternoon, which is what I did at one point. I had something to do, and I had a core of friends that helped me get through stuff. And then eventually in time, I finally like went out into the workforce and got job and progressed, and I'm at where I'm at right now, where my job kind of brings me down on a weekly basis, because I'm like, I'm here every day, all day, and people I know are out there enjoying life, you know? So that's something else that's building up once again, that was cured the last time by me getting in a car accident and being out of that place for like 3 months. So I don't need something like that to happen again.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't
Please
need that.
don't do that.
But I'm just I guess my point across again is like, people and things. Have people with you. Do things.
Yeah, have some kind of an outlet, even if it's writing or sewing or knitting or gaming or reading, whatever your thing is, do that thing and do it well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And this movie should not just be a great freaking like comic book one shot of DC brought to life, but it also should be an awareness of like, this is what's out there, this is what people deal with, and we should, one thing, one key thing, listen. That's all he wanted.
Listen.
He just wanted people to listen.
Truly listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Really absorb. And like, that's why Nods and I wanted to do this show, is because we talked so well together and we truly listen. You know, a lot of times we finish what the other person's saying, because if you're truly listening to somebody and you truly know them well enough, you should be able to do stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Most people are just like, yeah, and then I did this, and then never mind.
Don't stop talking about yourself.
Shut up.
That's why I connect to people who like, you know, we share stuff and we talk to each other and we listen to each other. And I'm there for my friends all the time. And sometimes I kind of disappoint LP because I don't share so much with him, you know, and he wants me to, like, you know, dude, you could talk to me, you could share everything. Like, when it came to the case of Rocio, you know, she was a big fucking like personal thing and secret to me for like a long time, and he just like, you know, you don't talk to me about this, dog. Like, tell me something.
You did that to me too.
Yeah.
You hid her from everybody, and I was like, you were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go do something with my girlfriend. I was like, girlfriend, the fuck? Tell me everything.
Yeah, I do that a lot, but I don't know, cause I guess I want it to be a personal thing, and then when it's like something set in stone, I guess I put it out there, kind of stuff. I don't know. I am also kind of a personal guy. Kind of private, I guess. I grew up by myself. I was the youngest, so everything I did was my own. You know, I played toys by myself. I had my friends during the day, but whatever. But most of the time, it's just me. You know, me in my own room, me playing my own movies, me playing my own games, me playing with my toys. It's mostly me, and it's still in effect to this day. You know, I love being with my friends. I love being with my girl, but I also need to have that, like, just me.
Alone time.
Yes. It's my comfort. It's like a necessity. Like, I feel like, okay, if I get to do me, then I have achieved my daily goal. And I can do other stuff.
I'm very much the same way.
I don't even know how I got here, but yeah.
That kind of like, and you have to, that's like a form of recharging, especially like with a public job like you have, where you go out and you surrounded by people all day. You have to have time where you're by yourself and you diffuse. And I think that's why so many relationships fail, is because they don't ever give themselves personal time or time away. They just want to be together all the time until they just fucking blow up.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that time apart, then the relationship usually lasts longer.
Yeah.
Because you both have that time to just kind of stop, diffuse, recharge, and then come back at it with a fresh mind.
Everybody gotta do that. Everybody gotta do their thing. I was was gonna say something. I forgot. Oh, you said like when I at work. Yeah, man. I just want to point out that it's they're a bunch of dumbasses. Like I said today, somebody was talking in the break room on the other side, and then where I was at, this other coworker that I'm cool with, I had no problem with. He said, what do you think about that? I'm like, about what? About that? Pointing to whatever the guy was saying over there, and I was like, oh man, they're just a bunch of dumbasses. And then he started laughing. I was like, yeah, you can't ask me that because I'm not really a nice guy.
Gonna give an honest answer.
It's that happens, and then I gotta get away from it all. So that's why I look forward to the weekend, because I'm with Rocio. We're doing things, and she brightens my day, and then I get to do my own thing where I get to play games or watch a movie or something, just away from them, you know?
Yes.
Ugh.
Stupid motherfuckers.
Dumb motherfuckers. But speaking of like we don't listen, I want to point out that I listened to you clean plates earlier, where he mentioned, and I this is also a thing, because earlier we talked about like we laughed in this movie. The part where the Joker kills like the dude in
Randall.
When he kills the dude in his apartment, and then the short dude is just there and he wants to get out, and he was like, no, you go ahead, I'm not gonna do anything. And
I was so scared for that little dude.
He goes to the door and then he can't reach the fucking lock. And then he had to ask him to open it. That was hilarious. She's like, why are you laughing? That's sick. And I'm
You're
like,
evil.
That's funny as fuck. Because he went to the door and he's like, he's hysterically trying to open the door and he can't reach it. And then he had no choice but to ask the guy who just murdered dude to open the fucking door.
You're awful. I was so scared. I was like, he's going to get killed next. And then he unlocks the door, opens it, and kisses him on the head and goes, you were always nice to me. I was like, oh my fucking God.
And that, you know what? That could have been his fucking joke too while he was telling it.
Yeah. Yeah, and even Clean Plate said that moment of hesitance where he was wondering whether to ask or just jump to try. It was so uncomfortable. Like, I was looking around the audience and people were like, oh my God, he's going to kill that little dude. And nope.
And then the other part that cracked me up, and she was like, you shouldn't, like, that's sick. Or when he's, saying like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, you want to hear a joke? You guys want to hear a joke? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, knock, knock. Who's there? And then he shot it. And then you hear the clown like, and I'm cracking up. She's like, that's not funny. It's like, that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, he did spook him on the way to the door.
Mm.
Oh, my God, I forgot about that.
Oh, man. Hey, they say that, and I saw the picture.
Yeah, thanks, my mom died.
Right?
I'm celebrating.
My coworker pointed this out when he said like, hey, did you notice the fucking Batman figure on the mirror? And I'm like, no. And then I saw it, a shot of it online, and yeah, when he's putting on the makeup, the mirror have these papers all up on it, right? But they kind of make the symbol of the Batman, and
oh wow,
the white of the fluorescent lights are like his eyes.
Totally missed that.
Yeah, I did too. And then he pointed out, and then I saw it online somewhere.
I need to see that.
I think I saved it. I hope I saved it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I fucked up. Oh shit! There was something here on Instagram that says by IGN, Jared Leto upset about Joker. Suicide Squad's Jared Leto reportedly felt alienated and upset when Warner Bros. Decided to move ahead with a solo Joker film starring Joaquin Phoenix.
That's totally different. It's a different universe. It's a different story. It's different in every way. It has nothing to do with him.
But I bet you he wished it was him.
Yeah. Then he shouldn't have been all like, come on, honey. I do want to get that tattoo on my hand.
Do it.
The big smile.
surprised no one has.
I'm sure they have. Somebody gave me the idea. I collect a lot of Joker art. And somebody was like, well, you should get him in the tattoo. So I've been trying to think of which one that I want first.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, you should get like a whole arm sleeve of just Joker tattoos.
All the Jokers.
Yeah, so I want to plan it. You know, I'm worried to be like strategic. I don't want it to be like just a bunch of shit slapped on my arm. So it's going to take some time and a lot of money.
Yeah, tattoos take fucking a lot of money.
So much money.
Hey, there's this clip that's going around. There's this new thing where it's like Joker laugh, but what other people's laughing.
Yes.
And
You
it's
see
the
the
one
Seth Rogen one?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. That was great.
That cracked me up too when he just laughed and then he stopped laughing. I was laughing.
You should do one with the old Eddie Murphy laugh.
No, that would be great. Oh, damn it, man. I guess I didn't say that picture. Let's see if I can look it up. Joker, Batman.
Or that.
Mirror.
What was the Wacky Racers? That dog that snickered?
Started doing it for everything now.
That would be epic.
Oh, man, I look up Joker mirror scene and they're giving me shit from like the first Batman movie. I'm like, no, not that. Oh yeah, when Bruce was in his little playground, he went down the pole, and I'm like, I saw that. I saw what he did there.
When he did what?
When Arthur Fleck goes to the Wayne Manor, sees Bruce, and Bruce is in his little playground, and then he goes down the pole, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
I see what he did there.
That was like baby Batman.
Oh, I heard that that theory that Arthur Fleck is a nod to Ben Affleck.
He shouldn't have fucking quit being Batman. He was like the best Batman yet.
Dude,
and he's just like, yeah, I'm just done.
Because he listened to the people. He couldn't take it. Wasn't there like a creative differences too on the Batman movie? They wouldn't let Ben Affleck do him. He was like, well fuck you.
He was originally like the writer and director and producer and all this shit. And then he was like, well, I don't want to direct it anymore. And then he was like, nah, I don't want to write it anymore. Nah, I don't even want to be in it anymore. Fuck it.
Because it was getting so much flack. Affleck was getting so much flack. And that's sad, man.
He was so great. He was like everything that I envisioned in my head of Batman shit, he did it.
Here it is. And then now everybody's like throwing that shit at fucking Robert Pattinson.
Right you better not fuck up.
I don't know. You can see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see it. That's gnarly.
It's a little blurry, but yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
It's so cool.
They're saying that was the Batman. And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't even catch that the first time.
Totally. Yeah, and like where Arthur's sitting, it looks like the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. What a nice Easter egg.
I'm telling you, this guy put he knew his shit.
What was funny is on Sunday, Comedy Central played The Hangover like back to back multiple times.
Did they?
And so I watched. I was like, I can't believe this is the same fucking guy.
Same guy. It's like, and that attention wasn't even brought to me until Cole was like, "Is it true that the guy who did Joker is the Starsky and Hutch?" And I'm like, "What?" And then I looked it up. I was like, "Holy shit, he did do Starsky and Hutch and The Hangover."
Yeah, The Hangover. Fuck. Oh, I read this quote from him where he said that he stopped doing comedies because of woke culture. Because so many people are like word police now from trying to be overly PC and stuff like that. And nobody takes shit as comedy anymore. Nobody can just laugh. They have to get offended. And so that's why he said that he gave up doing comedy.
I get it, but I think it was stupid. He should do what he wants to do, but fuck those people, man.
Yep.
I remember a time when The Hangover came out, and I knew someone. They were like, "Oh, I didn't see it because this guy's getting drunk and it's stupid." And so it's like, and then I saw the movie. I was like, "This movie was hilarious." And
Yeah, it is.
you're stupid for not wanting to see it because you feel like it's like, oh, it's like me. It's like me, and if I say that, it's gonna fucking like I'm gonna be attacked. It's like me saying this movie is like, oh, I don't want to see that movie because it's all fucking girls just fucking partying.
Yep.
I'm a fucking dick for doing that, you know? But it's okay for a chick to say, I don't want to see this movie because it's just a bunch of guys getting drunk. And it's like, that's not even the purpose of the movie, really. But,
No, it wasn't.
you know,
Most of everything that happened was all in like flashbacks or like them trying to figure out what they did the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I do love the part when the fucking little Asian dude jumps out of the trunk and just beats the shit out of all of them. I love that, and he's butt naked. So Comedy Central like has that little blur thing, and they're trying to follow him around.
Strange Wilderness is hilarious.
Oh my god, I love that movie.
I used to have it, man. Fuck, I should have kept it.
I have it on DVD. We should put that on the
digital, right?
The digital.
Oh my god, it's so fucking hilarious, man. When they shot fucking Bigfoot.
The Bigfoot. We used to do that the shark thing when I was in college. And they showed the shark with the big teeth. We laughed so fucking, like the teacher would leave the room and we would play just that clip and then he'd come back and we're all laughing.
Oh yeah, the grizzly bear derived its name from a football name, a football team in Chicago.
That's so stupid. I wanted to do shit like that after that movie came out. I was like, I want to do stupid voiceovers for animal documentaries. Like, that would be so fucking fun.
And when they had the meeting, and Holmes was there with his eyes closed, but they looked like
they're tattooed. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to go to storage and get my DVD out.
Oh man, that was a sleeper hit right there, man.
Yeah.
That was a sleeper.
I love how it doesn't even end. It just ends on like a cut scene of like a blooper. And they just end the movie right there. I was like, that's so great.
And it reminds me of this movie that's out right now on Netflix, the Between Two Ferns movie.
There's a movie of it?
Yeah.
God.
It just got dropped and it is kind of funny. It's stupid. But it's kind of like the same kind of notion of Strange Weather. Remember, they had to make something to be able to still air on TV or something like that shit. So it's Between Two Ferns is like Will Ferrell's playing himself, of course, of the owner of Funny or Die, and that Zach Galifianakis is like his public access show is now going under because they kind of accidentally almost killed Matthew McConaughey. And then Will Ferrell's like, look, man, I'll give you a fucking TV deal, whatever, or something like that. Or like he doesn't want to do the public access anymore. He wants an actual TV show and late night show, whatever. It's like, all right, well, you just got to give me this much content and good stuff that'll last me this long so I could get more clicks on Funny or Die or whatever, and I'll guarantee you this. So then it's just a road trip kind of movie where they get like stars along the way and make all this stuff. And every time he has someone, they always spell their name wrong. Funny right there at the bottom, and he's like treating them with really bad questions. But the best part of that is the bloopers at the end, because then you see them really having fun. Like Between Two Ferns, I know maybe at the beginning it was like the big joke was like, oh, they don't know what's happening and shit like that, and they think it's real.
Right.
But in the movie it's all fucking act and whatnot. They probably don't know the questions being asked to them, but they have to act like they're being awkward or offended and shit like that. And maybe they were sometimes, but in the bloopers, you could tell, like, he'll ask the questions and then they'll try to be in character, but then they'll laugh out loud how fucking fucked up and funny they are. Yeah, like Ant-Man, he put Ant-Man like that. There was a lot of Marvel characters, actually, a lot of Marvel actors, and what's dude from Mad Men? John Hamm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. Even in the movie himself, like that motherfucker was having a ball because he was just laughing. Like you couldn't edit that. Like he was laughing at whatever the fuck he was asking him. I can't spec. I cannot spec. Well, we really dig deep.
We went hard
into a lot of stuff. Yes. Going back to Joker though, do you feel like I think I got that from you, that how I interpret the movie is the way you interpret the movie as well?
Absolutely. I think you kind of dissected more things. I really want to give it another view.
It's totally like worth a lot of views.
Yeah, it's really something that you have to watch multiple times and go, okay, that's obviously fake. This part's real. But again, so many people watch movies like that, or like Breaking Bad or Scarface, and they want to emulate what they saw. It's like, well, you missed the point. The point is, if something were to happen to you like this, don't be like this person.
Exactly. We
so
don't
whatever
need
you
to be. I mean, we need. I think if there's anything I get from this, like you want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Confident. Like he was as a Joker. You don't want to be the Joker. You don't want to do what he did, but you want to be that confident, that cool and suave, and don't give a fuck attitude. You know, that's the same thing for Scarface. You want to be that cool and confident and shit, and don't give a fuck.
But don't kill people and be a drug dealer.
Yeah, you don't have to do all that.
That's a great thing to take away from it. It's to stand up for yourself and know when to say no. Because I had to learn that too. I used to be really kind of in the background kind of person, and people were, would ignore me and stuff, mainly growing up when I was in grade school. And then I think somewhere in middle school, I just said enough's enough. And I'm not going to let you talk to me like that anymore. I'm not going to let you do that kind of shit to me anymore. And when you stand up for yourself like that, people respect you. And
you're right. You're fucking right. Because you just took me back. Because I was the same way. When I was a kid, dude, I was whiny little bitch. I cried for anything. And then in a year, I had enough. I stopped being a crybaby. And this kid that was on the block wanted to bully me or something. Or he was just talking shit. And I just stood my ground. And I just looked at him real hard. And he was climbing the fence, and I think I pushed him. And he was like, "Oh yeah, you gonna come?" And I just stood there, like I was ready. Like I never been in a fight in my life, but I was ready this time, because I had enough.
Yep.
And they stopped him from coming to me.
Nice.
Okay, like they were like, "Oh no, whoa, no, man, this is not the same. This is not the same guy, dude. Like, come back." And he was like, "Yeah, whatever, I'll fuck him up." And I just stood there looking at him, and I was kind of like looking back, like it was kind of dope. Like they were protecting him from me when I probably would have got my ass whooped most likely. But the fact that they felt like, oh no, he's different and he's gonna put a fight,
Yeah, and that's all it takes. You don't have to do anything. You just have to be, and you have to know it in your mind, like, I'm a bad motherfucker. Yeah. I'm not going to let these people push me. My moment like that was in 5th grade. It was toward the end of the year. And we grew up poor. I lived in a trailer park. And my family didn't make very much money back then. We ended up later in like a huge mansion. Not mansion, but it was a big ass house. But my mom was really young when she had me, so it was like we grew up together. But I had this kid 2nd through 5th grade. His name was Mike Palmer, and I got shit from him every year.
Palmer, remember that, everybody. Mike Palmer.
So I got shit from him. I went to the school 2nd through 5th grade. I got shit from him every year, and I used to be in one of these like conflict resolution classes in 5th grade, and it was one of those things like anti-bullying, anti-peer pressure kind of thing. And it really kind of woke me up to not only standing up for myself, but having shit to say.
Yeah.
You know, besides just like, no, you're not going to do that. So we're in class. And again, it's toward the end of the year when we don't really have anything to do. We're just kind of bullshitting. And he's coming in on me again because I had like old clothes or something. And all the desks were up against the wall. Like they already had all the desks stacked up like where they were going to be for the summer. And I chewed him out from one end of the room, and he kept backing up and backing up. And when I was done, he was all the way at the other end of the room. And I was just in his face like, fuck you, ain't gonna tell me shit, I'm sick of your fucking crap, blah, 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 blah. And after that, he started calling me and inviting me over and gave me a pair of rollerblades. And his family took me skiing twice because he respected me after that.
That's hilarious. Fuck you, piece of shit. Yo, dog, you want to go hang out or something? You know, shit.
It was the funniest thing because that was my bully for most of my grade school, like elementary school. And then that summer between 5th and 6th grade, he's like, hey, you want to come over? I'll buy us Long John Silver. I was like, fuck yeah, I love Long John Silver.
Dude, you know what? That's exactly what happened to me too. Like around that same time that I just like didn't take anything, the guys, and they were older than me too. They was fucking assholes because they were older and they were picking on me.
Right.
The same guy that a year ago spit on me. Okay, he spit on me. A little ass kid. This motherfucker spit on me, talked shit, made me cry at home. Parents got pissed off, said, who did it? I knew where he lived. And they were like, we're going to go talk to him. I was like, oh, no, whatever. Go over there, talk to him. It was like, leave my kid alone. And he's all like, yeah, whatever. Next thing you know, they're making fun of me because I went to my kid. Next year, the guy's chilling. I used to live in front of my elementary school, and they had a playground. I see him out there. It's like a Saturday or Sunday morning. I see him out there. And I don't know if we were cool already, but I go out there, and next thing you know, we're just hanging, talking, and like we're best friends. It was the weirdest shit. Cause I even told him that too. It's like, dude, like last year, like you spit on me and made me cry and shit. And he's all like, yeah, man, whatever, man. That was last year. Like what the fuck? Like that was weird. In a year, I was cool with everybody.
I learned a lot of that from having so many guy friends because women are so like backstabby. Like they'll say all that shit to your face, and then they'll go tell everybody what a huge slut and cunt you are. But I always grew up with a lot of
bitch in between the sheets. I can be whatever I want.
But I always had a lot of guy friends, and guy friends are like, you deal it out either verbally or physically, and then you're cool after that. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of I went more that direction of kind of conflict resolution. You either chew somebody's ass out or you get in a fight and then it's over, and then you're like best friends after that. And that's what's so great too about like metal shows. People are like, oh, they're so violent, and you get in the mosh pit. And it's like, yeah, and then the guy that knocked you out picks you up and buys you a beer. It's like the best thing ever. But then you're done after that. You don't have this ongoing dispute for years. You either verbally got it out, physically got it out, and then you're like, okay, well, so let's be best friends. Okay, shit.
Okay, shit. Damn it. Now I got into some other fucking connection here. God damn it. I don't even like you that much. I guess it's true. You have to go through something to be buddy with someone. The same thing at work.
It's that whole respect thing.
Yeah.
If one person has one kind of set vision of you in their head, and then you challenge that and show them that you're not to be fucked with. Like my mom always says, like, I'm the quiet psycho. I'll be like all cute and quiet, and then you fuck with me, and then I'm like unhinged and in your face, and then you're fucking like thinking you're probably not gonna get home that night, and then like we're best friends after that.
Rachel, Unhinged. That's your autobiography. Get on
it. It is. It was going to be called I Just Sharted, but that's the new name.
And speaking, and you said, your perspective, right? That's what you said. Something about your perspective.
Yeah.
You reminded me of something else from Joker. How everything is his perspective. Of course, it's just a narrative. So that's why there's something that I noticed, like watching the movie right away, is Thomas Wayne is not that goody good guy that we've seen in other movies and other interpretation. He's a fucking jerk. But now, yeah. But when I think about it, it's like this is fucking his interpretation of people. This is why everybody treats him like shit, because in his world, his interpretation is everybody's treating me like shit. This guy's a dick. This guy's a dick, and shit like that.
Yeah, he's always the victim.
Yeah. Maybe he really didn't get punched in the face. Maybe Thomas Wayne just told him, like, no, and you're adopted, and your mother, and then he just walked out.
You never know. We don't know.
We don't know. We just know what he tells us. It's true. We just know what we're told. Kind of the story of Yojimbo. But man, this is long show right here. I think we're gonna have
very
to call
long,
it, guys. We're gonna have to call it. We really got in depth. If you haven't seen Joker and you just listen to us, ooh shit! But I hope you still watch the movie.
Please go see it. I mean, it's already breaking records, and
it is.
People are always they're already talking about this movie of the year, and it's going to win Oscars. So please go see this movie. It's fun, even just to support the art.
It is, and this would probably, I mean, it's not a Marvel movie, but it probably could shut up fucking Scorsese saying how, like, you know, comic book movies basically are not cinema.
Yeah, he can eat a dick.
Yeah. It's like, these movies are not just like, yes, they're fucking, they're definitely a ride. Like, seeing Endgame in the theater was a fucking, like, a roller coaster ride. But that's not the point. There's, like, they're still freaking cinematic, and they work because they are cinematic. We're talking about these movies that are actually done well and kind of with a, like, a cinematic intention, with a fucking, like, actual aesthetic, to Batman and Robin. You know, there's a fucking difference there. There's a huge difference between the two. And now we just saw Joker that definitely shows that these movies can be done even to a bigger, better cinematic level, to a artistic level, to a deeper level. Like,
exactly, and they don't have to stop there. They can. This whole DC Black Label thing, they're hoping to open that up to other kind of storytelling like that.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, in the world of Batman, it is that deep. Like, Batman should be like fucking like crazy deep, you know?
Yeah.
And Nolan got there. He got there. He was the closest to it, but it could be better.
If like Nolan and Tim Burton tag teamed, it'd be perfect.
So what we're saying is we need to clone Nolan and Tim Burton together
and make them have a fuck baby.
Yes, and then just like, here's all these Batman comics. Now go make us a movie. Just lock them away and shit in some room for like 10 years, concocting a perfect movie. And then he comes out and is like, I'm crazy. I hate Batman. And then he becomes a Joker. Bam, we just created.
Somebody clipped that of him saying I'm crazy.
Just that. I'm crazy.
Yeah, he's saying, Queen Plate's is saying, what's good with the different origins of the Joker, though? Like, he told people in The Dark Knight he had scars from his dad. Well, it's also, I mean, you've got the multiverse theory. You've also got in new comics, something I was telling Danny about. The new comics says there's 3 Jokers. Mm-hmm. So this could be the story of one Joker. Because there's the gangster, the psychopath, and the clown, basically, like the silly one.
Yep.
So it really depends on how they're doing and what kind of Joker story they're telling. Are they telling it from a single theory story from one of the multiverses? Are they telling about this Joker from one of the 3 Jokers? So again, we're really not going to know until Todd Phillips gives out more information.
Yeah, but he did say that his stuff is highly, inspired by the Killing Joke, and that's evident. And in the Killing Joke, he also, Joker basically says like his story, his origin is multiple choice.
Yeah, he says I like it to be multiple choice.
Yeah, he just throws you and he just throws you different curves. And in the Dark Knight, Nolan threw that into his Joker too, because his Joker was a mystery, and every time he told somebody how he got his scars was a different origin story, because he just left it like that. He just messed around with people and created all these different, that maybe he himself doesn't even know what the fuck his whole origin is, because I think when he became the Joker, that's when he was him, and everything else was just forgotten or something,
Yeah, either out of like PTSD or shock or trauma or by choice. So you can never know. Like anybody that has any kind of like mental illness, stuff like this is like, you may have suppressed memories. Like my therapist says that I have suppressed memories from my childhood. Between like 8 and 12, I have a hard time remembering a lot of stuff. And so it could be definitely something like that. Maybe he had such a bad experience or whatever happened, even if it was a series of events, or if you get into the Killing Joke, or it was just one bad day.
Yeah.
Regardless, so much bad shit all at once. Your brain can't function. Your brain is going to go into protective mode, and it can choose what you remember. It's going to, this is too bad. You can't remember this. I'm going to keep it from you because it doesn't want to hurt. Yeah. So then you don't know if he's making shit up or if he's actually remembering something.
Yeah. And I think people will understand this movie more if they knew how the Joker is in the comics, that there's multiple Jokers and that he's never really telling the truth. He's just playing with us the whole time.
His whole game is to mindfuck people.
Yeah. It's all a big joke to him.
Yeah. And especially in the Alan Moore comic, anything Alan Moore wrote with the Joker, he always says the line, "It's all a joke." And even when they did Watchmen, and the comedian is like an opposite of the Joker. He's like, if the Joker was a superhero instead, even the comedian has that same line. It's all a joke.
It's funny because I was just thinking about that too. Like the other day, I was like, wait a minute, the comedian is the Joker. Get it? The comedian, the Joker. It's the same.
And they even have the same dialogue, depending on which Alan Moore comic.
Shout outs to Alan Moore. He doesn't like any of his movie adaptations.
And he's a wizard.
Oh shit! Let's not fuck with him. He'll fuck me up from the distance.
We're going to say goodnight. And again, if you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything, please drop us a line at ask@machineroompodcast.com. Check out our website, machineroompodcast.com. You can get links to the show here live on Twitch or the YouTube or Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. You can just watch them right there on the webpage.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us here live. Danny Adi, Clean Plates, and 16-Bit Kaiju. If anybody else was here, thank you. You sleepers out there. Those are sleepers.
Sleepers, yo.
Yeah, those are people who fell asleep on us while we're watching. Or they're just like they're in the back of the room, just very shy.
Chilling. Yeah, don't be shy. Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. But we thank you for entering the machine room, spending some time with us, and hearing our review and theories on the Joker and delving into other stuff. It was mostly a DC night for the most part.
That's always a DC night for me, except for last night where I watched Spider-Man.
And that was a beautiful night, I bet.
It was great.
That movie is fantastic. And if you haven't seen Far From Home, please watch it. It's like watching an episode of the Spider-Man the anime series brought back to life. And that's
Every
how
day.
we like it. So, thank you once again from the bottom of my heart and Hammer Venus's heart for joining us again. It's the 11th episode, and we're happy to be here, and we're still happy to talk to you, and we're still happy that you're here and participating with us. This has been the Machine Room Podcast.
11.
The Once. Thank you, and good night. Till next week, everybody. Hasta la vista, baby.
Keep us there.